naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Without listening. People writing songs that voices never share.
tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. I will only be staying online today as long as we can get to 100,000 likes within the first 30 minutes. Today's a work day, so Bakanga is here to Bakangalize and go straight to the point.
Silence like a cancer grows.
Tap the screen, brothers and sisters. Tap the screen, tap the screen. We have a very interesting topic today. I hope you would enjoy.
Like silent raindrops fell.
Hello everybody that's coming in. Please tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. Let's get to 100,000 likes as soon as we can. Teamwork goes a long way. The Bible and Quran are not the word of God, because there is no God. Yes, Sarah, I will try my best to get some on YouTube as soon as possible. Tap the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 100,000 likes. If you're not following me on my other pages, go ahead.
Come on, Bakanga.
You're able to slip in here early today. You know, if you come in when there's the crowd, I might not be able to get you. So go ahead, my brother. I'm gonna make an exception. I'm not gonna set rules for you, but you gotta go straight to your point.
All right, so we've already talked about it a lot of times. So you were a Christian for 25 years, and then you said you realized there is no God. What made you realize that there isn't no God, though?
Logic.
Okay, and did you get that logic?
The fact that God is claimed to have come to be eternal. I realize that eternal things are the equivalent, well, things that have no beginning are the equivalent of things that come from nothing. So are you claiming that God came from nothing? Because if God doesn't have a beginning, that means God comes from nothing. And that makes no sense.
If you're the creator, you don't need to be created.
No, you're the one that's imposing those qualities upon your idea of what you think a creator should be, which is a fictitious idea. It's not realistic. Just because someone makes something doesn't mean that they are unmakeable themselves. That's gullible.
But regardless, there had to be something, because that's how we're here.
You can say whatever there is. The only thing that had to be for you to be here is your father and your mother doing the beautiful dance under the blanket. That's the only thing that was necessary for you to be here. That's the only thing that was necessary for me to be here. Nothing else.
Okay, so do you believe in like science, like the atoms and stuff? And
you know that it's not a matter of belief for me. It's not a matter of belief.
Okay, so then how do you think, but you don't have a logical reason how we got here then, do you?
I don't necessarily need any logical reason other than telling you that we came from our fathers and our mothers. Anything else you want to find out, you might want to go to school.
But don't you think that there would have to be a higher power to have a society and have people?
Not necessarily.
People
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, this world doesn't look like there is a higher power. We just do whatever we want. Tap the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Our goal is 100,000 likes within the first 30 minutes. Help us out by tapping the screen and tapping the screen.
We do whatever we want. I remember one of your claims before that we didn't have a free will, so now we're able to do whatever we want.
That's a manner of saying, bro. You know what I mean.
Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, I think some of your takes have changed a little bit.
I don't know about change.
I think, to be logical, regardless, I think there's definitely a reason how and why we're here. Regardless if you...
It has nothing to do with God. And yeah, just because you don't know the exact reason, because it kind of follows that if you weren't there, you wouldn't know. It doesn't mean you got to make one up. You can't just make one up.
There was over 500 witnesses that
In your
seem known.
imagination, 500 imaginary weaknesses of an imaginary character in an imaginary world. Congratulations, you figured something out. Come on now, bro.
So you think that they were lying? They seen Jesus.
No, I don't think that those people ever existed.
All right. Well, how do you believe? How were you a Christian for that long? And then, like, see, you never gave me like an exact reason why you don't believe in God anymore. You
Because
say
there's no
logic, but,
exact
like,
reason. It's a multitude of reasons. Come on now, bro. When you go to school, you unlearn all the fictitious stuff you learned as a kid. Not all at once. It's a process.
but so many things lined up with the Bible
In your imagination.
that are. No, it's not imagination. It's
I
right in front
don't
of
know
us,
what
but
line you're talking about, but that's not a straight line, my brother. That's a
do you
curved
mean?
line. That line that you're talking about, that lines up, whatever thing that you think lines up with the Bible is not a straight line. It's a curved line or some kind of twisted line, an imaginary line. It ain't really there.
What's not there? What specifically?
Whatever you think lines up with the Bible. You tell me whatever you think that lines up with the Bible. Tap the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let us activate the algorithm. Thank you
Wait,
to
but
everyone
you
who's
also
tapping. You guys are my
You also,
heroes.
s- you also say it says the Bible and Quran are not the word of God, and then you say there is no God. So
That's what I mean. The reason why the Bible and the Quran are not the word of God is because God does not exist. Somebody wrote that shit. You see how
well,
it
obviously
follows
somebody.
logically, bro? You see how it follows logically? The Bible and the Quran cannot be the word of God if there is no God. Wow. I bet you're shocked.
Over 500 witnesses, though. We can't just sit here and say
500
that's
imaginary
not true.
weaknesses, like I said. Did you know there were 500 weaknesses that witnessed me flying in the sky with a bunch of birds without any machines? And if you tell me that I'm lying, you're going to hell, my brother. We gonna make up anything, my brother. You ain't got nothing more than that, my good brother.
I think you just need to figure, like, you don't have to, but you need to figure something like you can't just say it's not real and then you just think,
Oh, I know it's
oh,
not real. It makes no sense that Jesus would have resurrected and only showed himself to people who were already predisposed to believe in him, rather to go and show himself to the people that would have doubted his existence the most. He should appear to the Pharisees. Imagine, bro, something happened to Donald Trump and then a bunch of 500 Trump supporters say, oh, we saw Donald Trump resurrect. You gonna believe them? Bro, imagine something happens to Donald Trump, right? And then 500 MAGA supporters, hardcore MAGA supporters, were like, yeah, we saw Trump resurrect and he went into heaven. You just gonna believe it? If something happened to Donald Trump and Donald Trump resurrects, he might want to go show himself to Joe Biden. That's all I'm saying. It will make sense. Jesus should have showed himself to the Romans. A whole lot of Romans, not just one.
I get what you're saying, but also it's just like it doesn't matter like that, like just
Oh,
because if
hell
you
yeah, it matters. The truth always matters, no
it
matter
doesn't,
how
'cause
small
it
it is.
doesn't matter it doesn't matter who he would
Yes,
have, like,
it matters
presented
because
himself
those
to.
weaknesses are not credible weaknesses, bro. Bro, think about it, bro. You gonna commit a crime and your weakness is your buddy that was committing the crime with you. You think that can hold in court? Hell no. The credibility of your weakness has been destroyed. Those 500 weaknesses that witnessed Jesus have no
That's
credibility.
the first people they go to.
Give me one of the name of those 500 weaknesses. Who was not one
No,
of the
authority.
disciples?
If somebody commits a crime with somebody, the authorities, that's the first person they go to is the person that they're with or their friend. That's like one of the first people they go to.
And their friend would say what? That I saw him not commit the crime?
What's that?
The friend that was there when he was committing the crime would say, hey, he didn't commit the crime.
Not always. Not if they want to get out of.
Bro,
what they-
give me
what
a
they were
solid
doing.
argument, my brother. If not, I gotta start bringing in my guests, my brother. You know we cool, so I'm giving you a chance. Go ahead, make a solid argument. If not, you gotta give me room.
No, for
There
sure.
is no God, there never has been, and there never would be. If you don't like it, crying therapy is available.
All right, I'm just gonna finish off on the last point. No, a lot of people do snitch on their people, so I don't believe. whatever
Somebody
you
need to
just said.
snitch on Jesus. I'm snitching on Jesus. He don't exist. I used to be a Christian and I'm snitching right now. He don't really exist, y'all. Y'all been scammed. You can call me the Christian snitch.
I'll be waiting for an actual reason why you don't believe in God anymore, because you haven't given one.
What's an actual reason?
Like, at least say, "Oh, I've done research." Like, you haven't even said that.
Bro, how the hell do you research God? Reading a bunch of stories written by men? Are you weird, bro?
Okay, so you're saying okay, so then you're saying you can do research, but you were a Christian for 25 years. So then, like, there's no reason for you not to believe in God anymore then.
Yeah, there's many reasons for me not to believe in God.
I think you think it's all BS, but
You can think whatever
just
you
because
think that I think. Still doesn't change the fact that there is no God and you can't prove it. Thank you for your time, my brother. I gotta go, man. I don't have too much time today, my good brother.
all right, take care.
Thank you, Sloan. I'm gonna give you 1 minute to go straight to your point, ladies and gentlemen. And as soon as you go straight to your point, the rest of the time is mine. If what you say is interesting, we may proceed. If not, I'm going to the next guest. I want to get as many guests as possible. I don't have too much time today, so please don't waste my time dancing around a point that you yourself don't understand. The burden of proof is not on me. The only people who have a responsibility of proving anything are those who believe in God. The moment people who believe in God tell you to prove that God doesn't exist, that's how you know God doesn't exist. The moment someone who believes in God, rather than proving that God exists, comes up to you and tells you to prove that God doesn't exist, just walk away from them. What's up, brother?
Hey, bro.
What you got for me? Please go straight to your point.
Yeah, do you believe the Big Bang was the beginning of the universe?
No, I believe my mother's bang was the beginning of my universe.
Okay, but okay, when you trace back the humanity, you believe that we started from somewhere, right? The whole universe and everything.
Nothing really starts from anywhere. Everything is the product of something that came before it, and there's nothing that doesn't have a cause.
So okay, so all scientists in the world agree that the universe started with Big Bang. Do you agree with
All
that?
scientists in the world agree that it's a theory, and it's not really talking about the universe literally. It's an intrinsic beginning, right? So space, the universe is not just matter. The universe is also space. Space has always been space. Time has always been time. Time has no beginning. Space has no beginning. The only thing that appears to have some type of, origin point is
Okay,
matter.
so you don't believe that the universe is expanding. Do you believe in that?
The expansion of the universe is also intrinsic. It's just talking about dark matter.
Okay, man. Okay, you're right, man. Have a good night, man.
You too, my brother. Enjoy your day. That's right. If you've not sat down and thought about your argument carefully, don't come up here because I will make humor out of you. And I do not want to make humor out of you. I'd rather have a serious conversation with you. But if you bring a silly argument, you're going to get a silly response. Ladies and gentlemen, please go straight to your point as soon as you come up. Tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. Let's get to 100,000 likes, y'all, within the first 30 minutes. Come on, y'all. Tap the screen, tap the screen. Don't be wicked. What's up, brother? What you got for me?
Hey, Bakanga, can you hear me?
Yes. Wealthy.
And why is there two Bibles on the planet? That's all I have to say.
Why is that what?
Two Bibles on the planet.
I have no clue what you're talking
Makes
about.
no sense. Makes no sense to have one God and two Bibles. You got the Quran and you got the Christianity Bible, Holy Bible.
I have no clue what you're talking about, my good brother. I don't have time today. Please go straight to your point, y'all. Don't play linguistic gymnastics with me. Please go straight to your point. If you don't really know what your point is, don't come up. Just be an audience today. Just be part of the audience. Tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. What's up, my bro?
Yo, so what
Hold
I
up.
think is,
Hold up. How old are you?
yo, what's good, what's good, what's good. I'm 18 years old. I
When were
just
you
turned
born?
18.
What year were you born?
I was born 2006,
What month?
April 20th. April.
All right, sure, go ahead.
All right, so this is why I believe in God, because before Like I did before I didn't believe in God. I had fucked up problems. Like I was going through tough times, you feel me? Like drugs and shit. But as soon as I fucking like believed in God and I fucking put my trust into God, man, that shit changed my life, man. Trust me, bro. Trust me when
Hey,
I say
hey,
that, bro.
hey, listen to me, bro. You good. I'm glad for you, my bro, that you ain't doing that shit no more.
Yeah, bro, I'm fucking 5 years clean, shit.
That's
Like
good.
dead ass. I'm not, and everybody in the chat saying I'm a kid. I'm not no kid, bro. Y'all tripping.
Yeah, it's all right, bro. You ain't no kid. You
Hey,
18.
man. Hey,
Hold
but
up,
hey,
hold,
keep
hold
it.
up, hold up, hold up. Your personal feelings and your personal experience don't prove that God exists, my bro.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, man. Like,
You can just say it. That's not an argument. I could care
yeah.
less. Listen, I'm glad that you ain't in that shit no more, but that don't mean God exists. Cause you might as well have said Santa Claus is the one that saved you.
Nah, it's just believing though. Like, you gotta
Yeah,
believe
you can believe in anything. You could
something.
have believed in Superman and you still be all right. You could have
Nah, I don't
believed. You
believe
could
in
believe in
that. I
the Tooth
believe in
Fairy.
God because
Nah,
I believe in God because
you could
I've
have
been through a
believed
lot, bro.
you could have believed in Superman and you would still be all right. I'm telling you, bro. Like the next time
Yo,
you're
let
going
me
through
tell
some
you something
shit,
real quick. Let me tell you something real quick, bro. I got into a big accident, car accident, and all that, bro. Let me
I
tell you
don't want
something.
to I don't want to know that. I just want a good reason why God exists. That has nothing to do with what you got into.
Nah, that is the point though. That is the point.
No, there's no point beyond that because I know
Yes, that
people who
is,
said they've
bro.
seen aliens and they're also crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but aliens, they don't. I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that are not
Listen,
like this. You have proof, right? You have proof, but nobody gives it to you. You feel me?
nah.
But the word, nah. But when you say something, how do you believe it's real though? If it's
You
like
don't need to
not
believe it's
shown.
real. If something is real, you don't need to believe it.
All right, bro.
Ah, bro.
All right, it was good talking to you, bro. Peace.
Word, word, word. Tap the screen, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost at 30,000 likes. Our goal is 100,000 likes within the first 30 minutes. If you come up, go straight to your point. Do not play linguistic gymnastics with me, please. Tap the screen
Hello.
so the algorithm can let people know that we are up right now. What you got for
What
me,
the
my bro?
school
Go straight to your
guys?
point.
Yeah, I see that it says the Bible is not the word of God. I'm a Christian. I believe the Bible is inspired word of God. You know,
Your
Jesus
belief
is
means nothing
God.
to me. Give me facts.
Yeah, like I'm making like my belief system very clear for
Yeah,
you.
your belief system has nothing to do with facts and truth. Your belief system is your personal feelings. I don't mind that, but give me real facts. Your belief system is not
A fact.
the
I
measuring
can give you
stick
a
by which
fact.
we establish truth in reality, okay? We
I can
don't
give
come
you a
to
fact.
you and ask your belief
Oh my
system to
God.
determine how real the world is. Give me
Yeah,
something
but I can give
beyond.
you, bro. Calm down. I can give you a fact. The historical Jesus really existed. That's a fact.
Yeah,
If the
yeah,
so-called
and the historical New York
one
City.
more thing, one more thing.
Listen,
I'm
listen.
not done. Yeah, hold on, bro. We need to dialogue here. If the so-called Jesus died on the cross, right? This is my claim or my argument for you, right? If the historical Jesus really lived and really died on Pontius Pilate, everything he taught, said, and spread is also true.
How about the
That's
historical
why.
Buddha?
What do you say?
How about the historical Buddha?
Yeah, there's no historical evidence that he really existed or that he even exists.
Per whose report? Per whose report?
According to history, no one has ever seen Buddha. They just follow what
Yeah,
they
there you
see
go.
and hear.
There you go. Do you even know the
Yeah,
story
but
of the Buddha? Hold on.
people.
Do you know the origins of the Buddha?
Yeah, but Buddha is the
Tell me,
enlightened
what was his
being.
real name before he was Buddha?
Yeah, I don't need to know like in
Okay, then
exact
thank you for your
detail.
time, bro. You have no clue what you're talking about.
But yeah, Buddha is a being
Stop
that people
promoting.
strive.
Listen,
But what the
listen
hell
to me,
is that?
bro.
Okay.
You know nothing about Buddha because you have
I
been
don't.
indoctrinated by a racist
I'm about to
worldview.
tell. Oh, okay, that's a claim. So can you prove that claim, bro?
Of course, because you think that what Europeans say is the only way by which we measure historical facts. Go to India, go to the
No,
East.
no, I
The
don't.
East,
No,
listen, Angelo. The East is its own
you're just
world, okay?
you're just making presuppositions. You don't know what I believe in. You don't know what I think. The
Again, like I said, the historical Jesus existing will still not make God real, will still not make the Bible the word of God.
Okay, so if Jesus existed and died on the cross, which is an historical count that really did happen, you agree, right?
Listen, no, I do not agree about that, but I'm willing to concede to
Whoa,
you for the
wait,
sake
hold
of
on, wait,
argument. Angelo,
hold on.
Angelo,
What's it?
Angelo,
Hold on,
Angelo,
hold on.
Angelo. I'm not gonna hold it. I'm gonna drop you if you keep behaving like that, bro. I don't have time today. I promise.
You're
Listen to me, bro.
dialoguing, no?
Listen to me, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't care what you believe about
Why
any
do you
human
shout?
being that ever lived. Okay?
Do you
If
believe
Jesus
that?
Christ lived and died, he died as a criminal. The Romans killed him. He never resurrected. There's no evidence that there was any person that resurrected called Jesus.
There's evidence that the tomb that he was in was empty.
And there are many reasons why
There
tombs
was
can
no
be empty.
person.
Like, for example, the disciples could have stolen the body.
Yeah, there's no historical proof or any historical reason for why they would do that.
Maybe because they wanted to continue his legacy. Maybe
But
because
what would
Jesus
they do?
was a
But what would they do with his body?
maybe because Jesus was really
You
a
see how
Jewish
intellectually dishonest you're being.
bro. Angelo,
You're being very intellectually dishonest.
Angelo. If you keep behaving like that, I'm just gonna remove you, my bro. Even
But
the
we
historical,
need to be honest, bro. We need to be honest.
bro,
We need to be honest.
bro. Even that historical Jesus that you're talking about, bro, was
Yeah.
actually known as a zealot, not as a messiah or a savior. History doesn't
Well,
record
according
Jesus, bro.
that's false.
Outside of biblical propaganda, right? If you go into the narratives that suggest that there could be a possibility that that individual lived, that individual was not a messiah. He was a zealot. He was a Jewish zealot who was rejected by his own people.
No, he was rejected by the Jews, not by
He
his
was
disciples.
rejected by his
This
own
guy's
people.
retarded. Okay, so I see you're just making claims without any facts. A fact is, number one, Jesus lived.
You
He
got nothing to
existed.
say, bro. Next guess. Yeesh. What does that have to do with Jesus, with God existing? You have no clue what you're talking about, brother Angelo. Go straight to your point. Don't come and waste my time, y'all. I really don't have time to waste today. Bring a solid point. Don't bring your feelings and emotions. What's up, my bro? What you got?
Billy Banter, you remember I joined you a few months ago, and I'm gonna be honest here. I'm not here to debate with you. I'm here to
Bro,
agree
if you're
with
not here, bro, then I'm gonna have to salute you, bro. I really don't have
No,
time today, my good
listen
brother.
what I'm saying to you, my brother, man. That's the
My-
question I want to ask. Is like, why
My
is it
brother,
so hard?
I do not have time today. I promise. I'm sorry, but listen, y'all. Go straight to your point. Go straight to your point, y'all, please. If you're uneducated or if you're too young, you haven't studied, if you have nothing solid, don't come up. What's up? Hello? Dead men tell no tales. Jesus long been dead. If Jesus existed, he's in the grave. Tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. Listen, y'all, if you want to hear Christian propaganda, just go to church on Sunday. You don't need to come to TikTok.
Yo, that's good shit, bro.
What you got for me,
Oh, man. Bro, listen, the thing is, I've been looking for this one because everybody live that I've seen on here is either they're Muslim or Christian. And when they see lives like this, they don't really understand the perspective of where you're coming from. And I'm like, I'm with you on this, bro. But what I would say is, when you say there is no God, yeah, are you talking about the Christian and the Muslim definition of that?
I'm talking about every conception of it. It's a fictitious idea. The idea of God is like the idea of superheroes, bro. You ain't gonna make superheroes real.
Yeah, because for me, from my research, looking further back than the modern day religions, God itself, like the word God for me is unanimous with the word idea.
Then we got no argument, my brother. I said request only if we disagree.
Oh shit, I didn't even see that part. Say nah, my guy. I'm gonna just keep watching the show.
Word, my brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, if God is an idea, then you got it already. If you think I'm speaking nonsense, how about you come and make sense? Just come and make sense. Don't bring weak arguments. The Bible and the Quran are the word of men. If you think that the Bible and the Quran are the word of God, you've been scammed. You've been scammed real bad. Real bad.
All right. How you doing? How you feeling?
What you got for me,
You
bro?
good? You real? All right, man. I gotta let you know on some things. No, some people only have God, only in their own soul. You cannot share that with any other people, but you will realize when you believe in God that you'll see Him in any way. You'll see Him through humans. You'll see Him
I
through
don't
the
care. I
nature.
don't. I don't need that. I don't
All
need
right,
that.
all right,
I'm
all
perfectly
right,
able to
yeah.
live my life without any of that, my good brother.
Yeah. All right. No, I got you. I understand you. Yeah. So I mean, there's two creators. There's creators of like humans creators, and there is God. So there are a lot of things that humans did not
And you
create,
know
and
that
it's
how?
too
And you know that
beautiful.
how? And you know that
It's
how?
too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know colors represent a lot to people. Green is the one thing that cannot leave you outside. So
I don't
green,
even
when you
see
see a green,
green.
you got to see
I'm
peace.
colorblind. I'm
Tree.
colorblind. I don't even see
Uh,
green.
that's pain, though. You know what I'm saying? That's pain.
No,
People
that's
got
not
pain cannot
pain.
understand that. But let you know though. Let you know though. You grow out of pain. You have pain on earth. Earth is cursed. So
No, Earth is not cursed. Who told you
if you
that?
have
Who told you that the Earth was
earth is,
cursed?
I say, listen though, listen, you gotta listen, man, listen.
No, no, no. It's not a matter of
Earth is
listening. It's a
cursed.
matter of following what you're
Listen though,
saying.
listen though.
Who told you that
I'm
Earth
gonna,
was
I'm gonna,
cursed?
I'm gonna let you know right now. Hear me
Then
out, all
just tell
right?
me. Just
Like,
answer me
all right,
directly,
hear
my
me
good
out.
brother.
Curse is pain. You cannot live above without pain.
Yeah, but then again, pain is
Survive.
necessary. Without pain, there is no life. The only people who can feel pain are dead
Yes,
people or
facts,
disabled people.
facts,
Okay, that's not a curse. That's a
facts.
blessing.
But
That's a blessing.
yeah, it's pain blessings, and heaven is just perfect. But let you know this though. Let you know this. All right, it's the fact. It's the fact that we grow out of pain, but humans out here are beautiful. Animals, beautiful. Grass, trees, beautiful. Uh, Animals have one job. A lion has a one job, keep maintaining the field. Other animals have their own jobs
But
to keep
I'm literally
maintaining other
waiting for you to
animals.
tell me what that has to do with God.
Yeah, that's called survival. All right,
What does that
we
have to
live
do?
in
What does that have to do with God?
we
My good brother, what does that have to do with God?
yes. What that is that, man, we understand. We do understand to live the highest. But think about this though, man. If you
What
had
does that
pain,
have to do
listen.
with
Think
God,
about
my
this.
good
Think about
brother?
this.
What does that
I'm
have to
gonna
do
get
with
to it.
God? No, don't get to it. Get
I
to it
gotta put a
now.
line to it.
No, get to it now.
We die if we had no pain.
My brother,
We
one
won't
last
live.
chance. One last chance. Get to it now, my brother.
Yeah, man. I can only tell you that you gotta see it yourself,
Yeah,
man.
that's cause
You
you
gotta see it
listen,
yourself.
listen, bro. Whatever's going on in
That's
your
soul.
head,
That's
bro.
soul.
Whatever's going on in your head that makes it so hard for you to just prove that God exists without telling yourself a bunch of made up stories is very strange to me.
I'm not a full Christian like you would think, like someone else you've been seeing. Let me
No
tell you
matter
something.
no matter
Do
what you
you
are,
do
if you
you
believe in God, that's your problem.
yes. Do you listen to music? You listen what's your favorite music? Let me tell you something right
That
now.
has nothing to
What
do
is
with
your
God,
favorite
my
music?
brother. That has nothing to do with God.
It has a lot. It has a lot, man. There
Okay,
people
then
are
go
dying
straight to
from a
your
lot of things.
point. Stop asking me questions, bro, that have nothing to do with my topic. I don't have to talk to you on that note.
All right then. Well, what I do is I listen to hip hop music. I'm part of hip hop, but I still
Again,
believe in God.
waste of time. Ask yourself, why is it impossible? If you are so sure, if you're so confident, if you're so grounded in your belief in the existence of your God, why is it so hard for you to substantiate the existence of your God in simple words? Why does it always go back to your personal experiences, feelings, and emotions that you have no way of proving? Does it perhaps have something to do with the fact that God is imaginary and made by human brains? Like I always say, if you're here for the first time, this is something I always say. The mystery is not where is not where God comes from. We know where God comes from. We know that man makes God. What we don't know is where man comes from. Okay? And the only way to know is going to be through science. It's time for you to drop your religion. It's time for you to get out of the church. It's time for you to go to school and get a degree. It's time for you to go and learn what we've discovered through science. It's time for you to start paying your tithes and offering. If you think science is a religion, you are brainwashed beyond human imagination. If you think that science is a religion, you are brainwashed beyond human imagination. You get it? Science is a study, a systematic study. There is no veneration. It is perfectly checked and balanced. Okay? I don't care if you're religious or not. If anyone told you that science is a religion, they lie to you. They lie to you worse than telling you. It's a bigger lie to say that science is a religion than to say that God exists. Okay? Science is practical. Without science, your ass will not be on TikTok right now. If you only had your religion, your ass would be in some cave right now, smoking mushrooms or something, getting high. Religion is a system constructed from fictitious ideas in an attempt to build a moral system. But the problem with religion is that it's always a pyramid scheme, unfortunately. Right? Religion is always a pyramid scheme. Science changes progressively. So the changes in science increases our enlightenment. Okay? As science changes, we learn more things about the world that we previously did not know. So the changes that we see in science are positive changes. Growth. Science changes in the same way that a seed grows from the ground. Science changes in the same way. In the same way that a tree grows. In the same way that a child grows. That's the way science changes. Science does not change in the same way that a broken egg breaks. Right? When you break an egg, you can't put it back together. At least not in the same way that it was. But when science changes, it's always because of enlightenment. Enlightenment. Now, don't confuse science for pseudoscience now. Pseudoscience is also a real thing. Pseudoscience is pretty much when people take all these fictitious ideas and imaginary ideas and try to make them scientific. If you got something to say, you best send your request. And if you send your request, you better be ready to go straight to your point. I don't have too much time today, y'all. Today's a work day for me. And y'all ain't paying me. If you tell me that you're a robot, you don't need to prove it to me. I already know you got mental issues. If you're a robot, you don't need to prove it to me. The moment you tell me you're a robot, I already know you got mental issues. Unless you're a biological robot, then that makes sense. What's up, bro? Mr. Ahmed. Hi, Mr. Ahmed. You're taking a nap with Allah? Let me bring up someone who's not taking a nap with Allah.
Yo, yo. Hello?
Yes, sir. Go straight to your point, if you don't mind.
Oh, cool. So I do believe there is a God, but I do agree with you that the Bible and the Quran they don't make sense to be the word of God. I don't think a book makes sense.
Why do you think there is a God?
I think I think there is a cause for everything that is.
Okay, but
We don't have to use the
that means that, guess what? Based on your statement, even if God exists, God also had a cause. You just said, I think there's a cause for everything. You just said it, not me. You just said it.
Well, everything that is, yeah, that makes sense.
Is God, is God, can you say God is?
Yeah.
Okay, then God has a cause. Then what exactly is God? That's so impressive. What is exactly so impressive about God then, if God got a cause?
Well, I guess it's the different, like God, no God, whatever.
But by that same logic, you might well fall in the category of people who think that humans are God.
I mean, not necessarily. Like, at some point, we agree that effects and causes, anything that has been caused has an effect, right?
Who knows?
Like, that's different. I mean, yeah, like I agree. I'm not talking from absolute knowledge. I'm just saying things don't make themselves, but we run into the infinite
Maybe,
regression.
maybe they do. Maybe they can. Who knows? Maybe we're gonna find that out one day.
Okay. I mean, no matter what the position, it sounds a God is unreasonable. Because to say I don't know is one thing. To say it's impossible or unreasonable is different to me.
To say what's impossible.
That a God or a uncaused cause
Is it
exists.
is it outrageous to say that Superman exists? That there's a possibility that Superman exists? That there's a possibility that with all those stars out in space, there is a planet Krypton?
No, I mean, everything is possible. Likelihood is.
Hold on. You're telling me that it's possible that there's a planet out there called Krypton with a person called Superman on it?
I mean, we both would agree we don't have evidence against it. The thing is, it's not.
We don't need evidence against it. It's a fictitious idea.
I know that makes sense. If
Yeah,
someone made it,
so you don't need to disprove something which is already wrong.
right, but you do need a reason to be absolutely sure something doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
I can be absolutely sure that somebody made it up.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe in it, because I can source Superman down to exactly who made it up.
And I can source God down to exactly who made it up.
You can source the cause of all that is
And
down to.
who told you that there's a cause for all that is?
Well, I've never seen anything get here without a cause. Like to
Yeah,
me,
have you ever seen anything get here by a singular cause?
by singular cause?
Yeah. Everything is a product of more than one or two phenomenons. There's not one thing that's just like one thing makes many things. No. There's always temperature to take into consideration, location to take into consideration, state of mind to take. There's so many things that lead to things.
Nah, because what you just said makes a lot of sense. I'm like, I've never seen that. You're right. Like everything goes backwards.
Yeah, that's
Like,
why
no
God
matter
cannot
who-
exist because an absolute being producing a dual universe is just doesn't exist, bro. It's a made up. That's why it's a fantasy.
Wait. What did you? What about a dual universe? Who said that?
Our reality is dual. Everything has an opposite. Do you know anything in this world that an opposite except zero?
Right. So there's a singular point that everything comes from.
No. Everything is
What?
in balance. The reverse is true.
Okay.
Light and darkness, up and down, left and right, good and bad.
Right. I mean, but that makes sense. If a God or any standard of singularity exists, then being outside of that makes sense to be the opposite. Like,
Yeah, and
that makes sense.
the only
Like, that's-
singularity is zero. Nothing.
Yeah, but that's how we get a thing called value. There has to be something else. Like there's no such thing as heat, right? There's just the absence of heat. Or there's no such thing as cold, it's just the absence of heat.
The absence of heat.
Yeah. Like have you like scientifically, it's like absolute zero is a thing. That comes with
Well, you can say that there's no such thing as heat. There's only the absence of cold.
No, you can't do it the other way around.
How is heat generated?
By energy.
Okay, when there's no energy, what is it?
Right. The absence of energy is what we would call cold. But there is
Okay.
no such. You can always measure heat up. You can keep that number can keep rising, but there is a such thing.
So you're
as the
saying that
cold.
if I take carbon dioxide and I freeze the hell out of it, or cold nitrogen is not energy?
Well, everything, if it exists, has energy.
Okay, then guess what? Heat cannot just be energy.
What do you mean, energy?
Both heat and cold are energy. They're states of being. There's just different states.
Nah, like that's scientifically false. Like there is zero, and then there's adding to zero. Like that's like math at this point.
That's
'Cause
not
you can't-
literal.
Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like scientifically, there's a thing called absolute zero, and it's not that we've reached it. It's that scientifically.
Absolute zero is how do I put it? It's not literal, like I said. It's not literal. It's just for the purpose of
it's scientific.
calculations.
Yeah. But it only exists. It only works because it mathematically makes sense. It's true scientifically. They wouldn't just use the word.
Because we can mathematically insert it, but it's not realistically consistent.
You don't think absolute zero is realistically consistent?
No.
I mean, at this point, you're like
Absolute
contending-
zero means neither hot or cold.
No, it means cold. Like it means the absolute absence of heat.
Okay, so how do you get to absolute zero? Tell me.
The absence of energy. Like that's the theory.
How
That's what
how
we're working
how
on.
how do you get to absolute zero?
By removing all energy.
And how
If you
exactly
can,
do you do that?
I mean, how? That's
Yeah.
why we don't have it.
That's the point. It's a fictitious idea, it's pseudoscience.
Well, okay. So fictitious meaning.
Now we just made it up. We just made it up because we want to make it up.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're on that, then
That's
I
why
mean
that's why
that's
they'll
not
tell you, bro,
scientific.
absolute zero is not real. It's just for reference purposes.
I know, but it's a good reference. You
Yeah,
can
but
do
it's a
math
made up
off of
reference.
no, but that's how you know it's true. It's because you can do real math off of this reference.
You can do real math in a hypothetical state of mathematics, not in a literal state.
Huh?
Just like imaginary numbers. Have you ever heard of imaginary numbers?
Yeah.
Do imaginary numbers exist?
Do imaginary numbers exist? Do
Yeah.
numbers exist?
Bro, do imaginary numbers exist?
No, like seriously, that's the question. Because however you answer this is how I'll answer that.
Bro, no,
Is the
don't worry.
number
I asked you first. Don't tell me to answer you first because I could do the same thing. Do imaginary
yeah,
numbers
yeah.
exist?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like either yes or no.
Bro,
The
do
concept.
imaginary numbers exist?
Do you see why this is difficult to answer? Because they do
Because
exist. Because
because
someone made
imaginary
them.
numbers don't exist.
Explain the concept of imaginary numbers to me.
There's some problems that we cannot solve if we don't make up an idea or we just make something that's not there and then infer to then comprehend something broader, just like absolute zero. That's why it's imaginary numbers. It's literally called imaginary numbers.
I know what they're called, but the concept exists to solve real problems.
You're correct. Just like we make up, bro. Do you know that if you hold on, bro? Do you know the concept of making up fiction solve the problem of boredom for people? For some people, it does.
Yeah, so boredom is real.
Yes.
And fiction actually only works if there's truth in it. Doesn't mean factual, but it does mean true. Nobody cares about fictional books that aren't good.
So fiction only works if there's truth in it.
Yeah, I mean, like seriously, like
So tell me, what truth is there in Superman?
in Superman
Yeah.
being a good book, it's that he has good values and saves people. That's what everyone wants to
Okay.
be.
Okay.
I mean, no, that's true, right? Like
No.
Superman is a good character. He's not real, but he holds good, true values.
No.
Okay.
He holds
What's your
fictitious values because the values of Superman cannot be implemented in the real world by a real person. Because one of the prerequisites for Superman to be who he is to be this person who's impervious to bullets. So if you're not impervious to bullets, don't try to be like Superman in any way. You're gonna get cooked. I think we have enough real life examples of realistic humans that can demonstrate the qualities that we want to learn. You don't gotta go to a fictitious character.
No, I mean that's my point. Is there would have to be. I think what we're confusing is fact with truth. Do you agree those are two different things, or do you think they're synonyms?
I think that they are parallel.
What
They
is
take you in
that?
the same direction.
What's that direction?
Expose reality as it is. Facts and truth would always expose reality as it is.
Okay. Which means even though something cannot be true, it can point you towards reality, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is a such thing as truth, even if it can be based on fiction.
The only thing which is not true that can point you towards reality is something that you understand is neither true nor false because it never is claiming to be true or false, like a hypothetical, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's
Okay.
the point.
But
Whenever
that's
you're
what
teaching
that's
the kid-
listen. That's how we categorize those things. Now, let me tell you something. Communism on paper looks good. Christianity on paper looks good, but in practicality, it doesn't look good. That's why it doesn't point you to truth.
Wait, hold on. We're changing topics.
We're not changing
I-
topics.
I
It's the exact same thing. Listen, okay, bro? In order for me to uphold the values of Superman, I have to be Superman. If I cannot be Superman, I cannot uphold the values of Superman. The values of Superman are fictitious values.
No, the powers of Superman are fictitious. His values.
The powers of Superman is what constructs his values.
That's not true. That's why
That's
he
very
was-
true.
I mean,
And
if we're taking the
listen,
story
let me
forward-
show you why. Let me show you why it's true, bro. That's why people have a hard time living up to the morality that they uphold. People think that truth is something you profess. Truth is something that you put to practice. If it's not practical, it's not true.
Right. I agree with you.
Yes, it's 100% fictitious.
Right. Right.
And
I don't even see why we disagree right now.
truth mixed with lies is not true.
I also agree with you there.
That's why when you mix truth and fiction, it's all fiction.
Whoa. You said are lies and fiction synonyms now?
If you mix truth and fiction, of course.
Okay. So let me give you an example that I know we both will use. If I'm trying to teach my daughter math and I tell her Sally has 2 apples, Johnny has 3 apples, how many apples do they both have together? Does she know a kid named Johnny? This is a fictitious example. It's a false example.
Does she know that?
In reality.
Does she know that?
Does she know that there's nobody named Johnny in the room? Or no apples?
Yeah. Okay, good. Good. So you already told her that it was fiction.
No, I don't even have to tell her it's fiction. I'm asking her to work within fiction.
Is she able to conceive in her mind that that's not real? That the example you're giving her is not real?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's true of Superman too, right?
Okay, listen, bro. Let me show you something. There is a difference between me using an idea to prime your mind, and then I give you something which is now independently true in of itself, right? 1 + 1 is true in of itself, whether Sally takes the 1 and adds to the other 1 to get 2.
Yep.
Right? But in order to make it interesting to my daughter, I have to lie to her. I have to tell her that, hey, Sally, listen carefully. Bro, what's a lie?
The lie?
What's a lie?
To intentionally tell something that is outside of reality.
So if you unintentionally tell something that is outside of reality, it's not a lie anymore?
If you unintentionally? No, that's just called mistake.
It's called what?
That's just called wrong.
I think you're confusing lies with deception. I think you're
No. Hold on. You gotta clarify that. No, because I'm like, if a bunch of kids right now that don't know math are sitting there saying 5.5 is 27, are we saying all of these kids are lying or all of these kids are just incorrect?
Let me show you. They're lying.
Wait, answer that.
It's a lie.
Lying?
Yeah.
Just because they don't know the answer, they're lying.
Yes. When you're incorrect, you're more likely to lie. Even if you don't know.
No. But they don't know. That's what I'm saying. Lying.
If they don't know, it doesn't change the fact that someone who knows can identify that statement as a lie.
No, it means they're just wrong. I'm saying.
Yeah, all lies are wrong. All lies are wrong.
I agree all lies are wrong. I'm saying always being wrong doesn't mean you're lying, though. Lying means intention.
Not if it's not true. Not if it's not true. And bro, you see, you're thinking that the intent is what makes something true or false. No. Something is in.
I didn't say that.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter if the children know that it's true or false. If it's not true, it's not true.
Hold on. So, okay, tell me what my values are, because it sounds like we're missing each other, and I want to make sure you have an understanding.
I do not know what your values are.
No, I'm saying, what do you perceive I'm understanding about lies and truth? Like, do you feel like I don't understand or that I'm missing something?
I think that you're finding a way to make fiction true.
Fiction true?
Yeah.
No. I mean, by definition, fiction isn't factual.
Thank you.
I am trying to make a distinction between fact and truth.
Hold on. Okay, then be precise and be straightforward and be clear. Tell us exactly what's the distinction between fact and truth.
Between fact and truth? Fact is something you can point at in reality that is true. Truth is a conceptual idea. Like, just period. The concept. That's why Sally having 5 apples can be true, even though we know that's not factual. I don't know any girls with 5 apples right now running around named Sally. So is there a difference between those two?
You want me to help you out?
Sure.
You're correct.
All right.
Except you're misconstruing one thing.
Okay.
Truth is the establishment that a logical claim is indeed what it is. So truth is a fact. Truth is always a fact. But not all facts are true. Hold on. I think we're flipped.
But I mean, I'm cool to like. I don't like seriously. This is how we feel.
Listen. Okay, you have the quantity of something, right? The quality. You have the quality of a thing, and then you have the essence of that thing itself, right? So the quality of a fact is the truth of that fact. It can be observed to be as it is. The truth of a matter is the fact of the matter. So if you know the fact of the matter, you will know the truth of the matter. You can even use those words interchangeably. Those words can be used as synonyms.
Okay, let me.
It's just
let me try
English. It's just English.
But we just said that Sally is a true that's a true equation that's not based on facts. So they can't be synonyms because we understand they're not factual, but they are true. How is that possible?
Say that again.
So the Sally example, the Sally equation we made up, we know that's not based in reality. That's not
Yes,
factual.
because it is inherently a hypothetical. That is the nature of mathematics. Mathematics has within it a construct to allow for hypotheticals.
So are hypotheticals true or false?
A hypothetical, in of itself, can be used to help you understand a truth which is not readily evident. But the thing about a hypothetical is that not all hypotheticals are practical, but there are practical hypotheticals.
All right, that was a really long way to answer the question. Are hypotheticals true or false?
Hypotheticals are not always true. They can be true or they can be false.
Okay. So, hypotheticals, if I make a true hypothetical that is false because it's not based in reality, how are true and fact?
No,
synonyms?
you cannot make a true hypothetical which is not based in reality.
Sally, it doesn't exist.
But your daughter's name could be Sally.
She could, but it's not.
You could change it right there and it will be.
But that's not true. That's not factual.
That could be true. That could be true because we have the ability to change names.
I didn't say anything about could be.
Bro, do you know, when you say a hypothetical is true, you mean that it could be true in reality, but it's not readily available to you in that moment that it is true, right? But you can make it real in reality. It's not impossible. That's what it means.
I didn't say anything about impossible. I said factual. I'm saying principles can be true without being in a reality yet. This is how you get stuff like inventions. This is how you get stuff like flight. Someone had the idea and said, I think we could get this giant piece of metal in the air and we could call it an airplane. It didn't exist yet, but that was a true theory. But it wasn't factual until they made it. Truth and fact are not the same thing.
What's the difference?
Exactly what I said before.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is it true? Is it hold on. Let me just take you down the lane of practicality. Is it true that you're a man?
Yeah.
Is it a fact that you're a man?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
The difference is that I'm both of them. You answered two questions.
Give me a scenario in which hold up, bro. You just said truth and facts is not the same thing.
We've established that. Is it true that before airplanes existed, they didn't exist?
Is it true that before airplanes existed, they didn't exist?
Yes.
That's true.
Okay. Which means if someone said, I'm going to make a thing that flies in the air made out of metal, they have a true theory based on something that's not in reality.
What the fuck does that have to do? What the hell does that have to do with truth?
Well,
and
I'm
facts?
trying to I feel like you hear me. I just don't know if you want to now, because I feel like I'm making sense.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I think you're trying too hard to pinpoint something, but you're losing yourself in your own words.
No. Genuinely. Like, I can stay here all day in this point. That's why I'm saying Sally, I don't have a daughter named Sally, which means that is not factual. But
no, that means that's not true.
Oh, okay. It's not true. It's not factual.
Yes.
But I can make an equation that involves Sally, and the equation can be true.
The equation doesn't involve Sally because Sally is not real. You say it, but it doesn't mean it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is how we got here. This is how we got here with the Superman thing. Superman's not real, but his values make sense.
What are the values of Superman?
The values of Superman: peace, caring for people who are weaker than you.
Was there peace in the world before Superman was invented?
What are you?
Was there peace
Superman
in the world? Hold on. Was there peace in the world before Superman was invented?
Are we talking about in the real world or in Superman's world?
Bro, in the real world.
Oh, okay. I mean, seriously, that's a question. Superman's not real. We got to establish that first, apparently.
Bro, was there peace in the world before Superman was invented?
Yeah.
Okay. So the peace in our world, is it the same peace in Superman's world?
Yeah.
How's that?
Superman's based on our world, right?
No.
He's on Earth in a real
not
place
this not this Earth.
I feel like
the Superman, the Earth that Superman is on doesn't exist.
Right. But the story is based on our Earth.
No, it's not.
So Superman's not from in America?
No. Not from the America that I know that I can go to and I live in right now. That's not the America that Superman is from.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's just the issue then. I don't think we'll make a ton of progress if we're not willing to.
Listen, bro. It's like, for example, right? New York City in the Avengers. It's not New York City literally right there, right now in our real world. You can use the same names. You can use the same names to create a reality that doesn't exist, create a narrative that doesn't exist, that resembles what exists, but it actually, in fact, doesn't exist. That's what I'm pointing out to.
I agree with you, though. We're not arguing that.
And the line that separates that is fiction.
Well, the fact that it's made up, the fact that...
Check this out, bro. It works in the same way as a counterfeit. This idea works in the same way as a counterfeit. What you're trying to tell me is that as long as I can fool someone with a counterfeit, then the counterfeit is no longer a counterfeit.
No. I don't even understand where you got that from.
As long as I can teach you peace using fiction, then fiction is no longer fiction?
No, peace is real. The fictional world I made it in isn't.
That peace that's real in that story is not the same peace that's real in our world. It's not the same.
Really, true.
So those values are not practical. Those are fictitious values. Those who go chasing those type of values never find it.
Okay, so
because in order for you to understand values in this real world, you have to be realistic. You need to know what's possible and what's not. If you have to make up an impossible world to teach someone something, they will never learn the essence of what you're trying to teach them.
That's the best way for people to learn. Simulation is literally...
No, that's the best way to indoctrinate people. You got it wrong.
Seriously. Hold on, time out. Because we keep going on the religion topic, and I'm literally not even trying to go there. I'm saying that in order to train
somebody, hold on.
Right
let me get this right. You came on a live that says there's no God and you don't want to talk about religion?
No. I'm saying you're going in a religious direction. I'm going in a practical direction.
I thought this whole conversation was around religion.
Okay, well, I guess define religion for me real quick, and we'll see if we're there.
Are you saying you don't know what religion is?
I'm saying we need to make sure we have the same definition of religion.
So why don't you tell me yours first before asking me to tell you to define it? Because it seems to me like you don't know what it is. That's why you keep trying to say you're not going there. What is religion, bro?
No. Because to me, this is
what is religion, bro?
Religion would be let me get a dictionary, or just a thought off top. Religion would just be a system of beliefs that shape a person's worldview.
False.
Okay. That's why I needed to ask your definition.
Religion is not just a system of beliefs, but it's a system of beliefs centralized around a supreme being, a creator of the universe, right? With a set of rituals.
Wait, that's not true though.
Used in veneration. You say what?
Like there's plenty of religions that either have multiple gods, multiple deities, or it's just a system like karma. Like there's people who don't even have deities in their religion.
What is the purpose of karma?
What is the purpose of karma? It also regulates society to let people know how they ought to be.
I mean as a religious principle, why should we pay attention to karma?
Why? Because
Yeah.
what goes around comes around. That's essentially the concept of
Okay,
karma.
so okay, yeah, but how does knowing that help out a religious person who believes in it?
Oh, it helps out a lot because now you treat others the way you want to be treated.
And
If
then
you
what do
know,
you gain when you do that?
you treat people better and you're treated better.
And then what do you gain?
Better treatment.
In
It's
what
built
ways?
into them. What do you mean? Whatever ways you're doing it. Like,
In how many worlds?
Huh? I don't even know what you're asking.
Because you don't know what karma is, bro. Karma is within a religious system that drives you to understand that your actions have consequences, and if you gain a specific set of actions, you can ascend and become a supreme being. You will not be reincarnated into a lesser form. You'll be reincarnated into a higher form, right? So it is not necessarily monotheistic, right? But it is polytheistic in nature.
Okay.
So that's religion. That's why it falls under the banner of religion. So someone's then going to give you a set of principles to follow so that you can achieve that higher state of being. So you can become the supreme being. There's different types of religion. There's religions where people submit to supreme beings, and then there's religion where people try to become supreme beings, like Buddhism. If you reach enlightenment, you don't need God because you're going to be all-knowing. You're pretty much going to be it.
Okay.
No, you're going to reach nirvana.
Okay. So
that's why religion is religion.
Okay, so since I'm not talking about a supreme being right now, we're talking about just the logic of what we've been talking about with this truth and fact. I don't understand why you need it.
You know
Like,
what?
when I said we're not
You know what? You know what?
So-
You know what? Let's just look up the definitions rather than just going based on our subjective understandings. Okay, truth definition, because I think this will just end the argument. I was trying to see where your brain was.
I mean, no.
Listen. I'm gonna read it to you because I said it to you
Why
earlier.
are
You
you
didn't
upset?
want to hear.
I'm
Truth
chilling.
is defined as the quality or the state of being true. That which is true in accordance with fact or reality. Okay. The second definition says a fact or belief that is accepted as true. That's the definition of truth, right? Now let me give you the definition of fact. Ish. People come on the internet, man. Sometimes brothers and sisters, we like to be too smart and we become over smart. A fact is literally a thing that is known or proved to be true.
Okay, so hold on. Let's talk about this for a second.
Nah, bro, we don't need to. We don't need
Wait,
to.
how,
Check
why,
this out.
why do
Check
you
this
have a
out.
log if we're not going to talk?
Let me, bro. Let me read to you the similar words to the word fact. Okay, it's similes, reality, actuality, certainty, factuality, certitude, truth, naked truth, verity, gospel. Fact and truth are you can use them interchangeably. You trying to make it distinctive as though fact is just different from truth. It shows me that, bro, something is not right with your way of thinking, or you're saying something that I'm completely not getting.
I think it's the second one. But
okay, then explain to me why the dictionary uses them as similes and describes them using each other. You know how in English you know how in English, if you have a simile, it means that it has the same meaning, right? And can be used in different contexts. And then there might be some contexts that one word might work a little bit better, but generally it's the same thing. Different ways of saying the same thing.
Okay. So within geometry,
The fact
just to
of
give it. No. I'm with you. I hear you. But I'm saying at some point we're willing to say that all squares are not rectangles, but all rectangles are squares, right? Like they're different things, but they definitely both have
what's
four
a square?
sides.
What's a square?
What is it? All four sides. What I forget how to describe a square. All four sides, 90 degrees.
A shape with four equilateral sides.
Right. Yes.
A rectangle doesn't have four equilateral sides. That's why it's a rectangle.
Which is why rectangles aren't squares.
You are correct.
But squares have more qualities to make them squares The
No.
rectangle.
Let me give you a good example, okay? You're not using the right example. If you
Is
want
a
to
rectangle?
compare, hold up. If you want to use that type of mentality to compare truth and fact, the truth would be the square and the fact would be the cube.
The
A
cube.
cube and a square can be used to show the slight differences that may exist between fact and truth by definition. Okay, you using a
You just
rectangle
said
and a
the
square
cube.
is not even the same thing.
Hold on, no,
But
that's important. You just said there's slight differences between fact and truth, right?
in terms of utility, yes. So depending on who you're
Okay.
talking to, if you want to emphasize a specific meaning, bro, that's why the English language, unfortunately, people who are not skilled in English comprehension don't get it. There are
Yeah, I get
many
you there.
reasons why we have different words that mean different things. Not only because English has changed over time. Okay?
Right.
So it's like the word, let me see what word that has changed. It's like the word spirit. When you read the word spirit in the Bible, bro, it literally is what we mean today as mental health. Like mentality.
I
It's referring to
completely
all things
agree.
mental.
I agree with you there.
But then do you see how people try to use them as though it's separate today? And what does that create? Chaos.
It sure does.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean
So
there's no such
so
thing
when
as
you try
spirit.
to
It means
distinguish,
people are
when
wrong.
you try to make truth and facts different, you are making a possibility for someone to give you false facts, for someone to give you a lie masqueraded as a fact. You are taking away your ability to identify a fact. You're taking your ability to identify the truth.
No, it's a way to give people real experiences without having to deal with the consequences of reality. This is why the story of the boy who cried wolf is true.
That's
Even
called
though
a
I don't think
parable.
it historically happened.
Listen,
Yeah, yeah,
listen.
yeah. But does the parable have truth in it though?
No,
It doesn't have truth in it.
no.
Okay, you gotta defend that.
Because the parable it of itself is separate from the lesson that you learn from the parable. But the
Right.
first thing, hold up. The first thing you need to know about a parable is that it's not a true story. That's the first thing you need to know.
Yeah, it's not factual. I agree with you.
It's not a true story.
I mean, yeah, we can use that interchangeably. It's not a factual story, it's not a true story.
So now we can use it interchangeably, bro.
No, I mean, that's your point, right? Is that
What is the first thing someone needs to know about a movie before they watch the movie? It's not real. You only get
I don't
something
even
out of the
know.
movie if you can identify the movie for what it is. And
No,
then
it's only if you can,
you can
if you
adjust
can
your state of
distinguish
mind.
if you can distinguish the truth in it from the reality that it is fiction, then you will do well. But to
But
say
in,
that
but
the
be,
movie
but
is
but
false,
before
therefore
that's
there's no
what I'm
truth.
saying. You are correct. You're correct. This last statement you just made, you are correct. But what I'm saying to
Okay.
you that how you distinguish the truth from the fiction is first recognizing that it is fiction
I agree with you.
and that truth doesn't apply unless you step out of that fiction.
Right.
You get it?
Okay.
Hold on. You
So
get what I'm saying now?
yeah. We're on the same page.
That's what I'm saying
I
to
mean,
you.
we've been on the same page. Yeah. So here's my thing. Now, this is an important example. So let me see if this helps. If I get a bowl and I fill it with water, right? And then I take the bowl and I pour it into a glass. The only thing that possibly could be in the glass is water, right? There's no other way.
Say
This
that
is
again?
so far.
No,
So
repeat that again.
got you. Okay. So if I get a bowl that's full of water and then I get a glass that's empty and I pour the water into the glass, the only thing, we don't even have to watch it, the only thing that could possibly be in the glass is water, right?
No.
Okay. How did anything else get in there?
You could have had a rock in it. You could have had sand in it. You could have had
I
anything in it
said
before.
I said the glass was empty. The
Oh,
glass
you
is
said
empty.
the glass was empty.
The glass is empty.
Okay, yeah, sure. Only water.
So there is no way that anything besides water can get in there.
If in fact you did pour the water in it, yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Now, we're saying that if a story is completely false, there should be no way to pour into a person anything but falsehood. But somehow we're able to pour and you can get truth You can get water still. It's like, okay, now we're pouring a bowl full of water, and somehow Kool-Aid's coming in the glass. How is that possible?
Say that again.
So it sounds like what you were saying was if a story is false, then it has no truth in it. Is that what you were saying? Or did I mishear you?
That's why it's a lie.
Okay. But somehow you can take
Let,
these
let,
false
let,
stories.
let me show you something. Okay. Let me tell you why I say that. Let me tell you why I tell you that. Because lies are like poison, bro. I only need one drop of poison to turn a glass of water into poison. You get it?
So the little boy who cried wolf is poison.
Bro, hold up. You only need one drop of poison to turn a glass of water into poison. Do you get it?
I agree with you there. I
Good.
agree with you there.
So, any truth which contains lies is a lie.
Okay, so the little boy who cried wolf and the Sally example are all poisonous lies because there's 1%.
Yes. That is why.
Okay.
Listen.
If you're standing there, then I agree.
Listen, bro. That's why that's not an effective way of teaching. Listen, we are slowly going away from that way of learning, bro. In fact, there was a time when that was the only way of learning, and that's why you had priests and religion ruling the world, just telling people a bunch of stories that people could not live up to. What happened when hold up. What happened when we started conducting experiments? We stopped making up stories. And then we allow ourselves to make up story in the beginning of the scientific process. It's called a hypothesis. But you have the burden to prove it as a fact before anyone puts any validity to it.
Right. But that's what I'm like. So to be clear, I'm not arguing that religion hasn't done some garbage stuff in the past. Definitely not arguing that. So, like, don't hear me saying my argument is.
Oh, I get what you're doing, bro. I know that that's not what you're doing, bro. What I'm trying to say to you, bro, that if you want to teach someone, don't lie to them, even a little bit. If you can't tell someone the whole truth, don't tell them anything. And guess what? Our parents lie to us as we grow up as kids to shield us from the world. But we don't recover. Not all of us recover mentally from those lies. Like Santa Claus, like God, right?
So
I give you the example of a counterfeit. A counterfeit $20 bill resembles a real $20 bill. You can't tell me that it is a $20 bill just because it resembles a real one. No, the resemblance of truth is not truth in of itself.
I mean, I guess that's what anything is. Like I feel like you're gonna like completely eradicate any education system. Like Monopoly money isn't real, but I think my kids, by playing Monopoly, actually learn how to manage money. It's not that that's a real scenario, though. But if you're saying Monopoly because it's not true, I need to throw it out and burn it because it's poisonous.
Let me show you something. Let me tell you why that's a very bad way of training. Well, I won't say it's a bad way of training, but it's not sustainable, right? Because the stress that they experience when they play that fake game, it's not the same stress, emotional stress. It's not the same reaction that we get in the real world. So yes, if you're going to use a simulation to simulate a situation,
right,
you still got to come back to the real world. That's why I said, by definition, you first need to know that fiction is fiction before you can properly interact with it. If not, you walk into that movie theater and you walk out thinking that the Avengers are real. It will fuck you up. It fucks people up. I'm a realist. I'm an extreme realist in my worldview.
I mean, I just, it's one of those things where I'm like, whether we're talking about, like, because I've done military training, I've done a lot of stuff. And if the only place you're willing to let people get experience is on the field, you will get a lot of people hurt.
Bro, like, listen to me. You are correct. You are correct, bro. You are correct.
Those are
lies always benefit the one who tells them. Lies always benefit the one who tells them. Okay? Do you know why our parents don't like telling us the truth when we grow up? Because they don't want to have to deal with the stress of having to explain and answer all our questions.
Wait. I agree with you there. We're not talking about lazy people. We're talking about military trainers. Do you think military training is good to have before you go to war? Or do you think people should just be tossed out of airplanes?
Military training is good for you to go to war. Let me tell you why. The best militaries in the world are the ones that can replicate the most realistic scenario.
Okay.
They can give
Hey,
you,
that's.
listen.
I'm with you.
Okay? For a military soldier to learn how to jump from a parachute
He probably needs to
on the
jump.
battlefield, he has to jump out of a parachute in training. And he can die both times. The stress is the same.
Right.
You know, the more real the simulation, the more factual, the more truth there is in it, the more practical it is. The less,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So guess what? That's why I'm saying to you that in the purity of it, there is a discrepancy, there is a disability in our ability to communicate properly. That's why sometimes we have to utilize deception. And when you utilize deception, there's many types of words you can use: indoctrination, brainwashing, hypnosis. That's what you do to soldiers, right? You make a soldier, you train a soldier such that he will do things that logically go against his own self-interest. It benefits the nation, but that soldier's gonna die. In fact, 100 of them, out of 150 of them that go into the battlefield, they're gonna have to go against their instinct. They're gonna willingly run into the fire, something that you in your right mind you wouldn't do.
I mean, I feel like we're changing topics. Like where we started was how do you get more soldiers to come back? If you're going to talk about the morality and ethical nature of what,
Don't send them to the battlefield.
I mean, don't go fight a war.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way. You will definitely lose your country, but that's one way to.
No, there's other ways to not lose your country rather than fighting wars. There's other ways to resolve conflict than war. Do you know? Do you know why we get to war?
Because of bad delegation or
No.
language barriers.
No,
or
when we
lack
reach
of
a point of no compromise. When you reach a point of no compromise, the only option left is violence until the other person is taken out of the equation. But you can still solve that problem without taking each other out of the equation if you're willing to concede and compromise.
No, I mean, if the other person
how far are you willing to compromise? When you get to the point where you're willing to go to war, you've already understood that you're gonna die or somebody's gonna die.
I mean, this is, I guess, what my question is then. If the other person is not willing to compromise, what do you do?
If the person is not willing to compromise, then you would go to war.
Okay. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying how we get to war is I'm not arguing that. I'm saying if you have to go to war, otherwise they are going to run you through. What are you
You're gonna get run through anyways.
Right,
the moment, listen. The moment you reach the point where one person has refused to compromise, people are gonna die on both sides.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
so when you get to that point, it becomes unavoidable. So now you're talking of the unavoidable. You're not gonna save some lives, okay? Somebody's son, like Iraq, right?
Did you think I was saying no one would? Like, this isn't why the analogy was built. I feel like we've gone into ethics, and I'm just kind of like, well, if we're always going to slide into a topic that wasn't the topic, then yeah. I mean, and to be real, I'm like, even the people now.
I like how you think that you're the one who determines the topic.
What do you mean?
So if you say something that has nothing to do with what I said, it's okay for you. But if I say something that you necessarily can't keep up with, then all of a sudden we're going off topic. You guys do that all the time. Bro, have you read the screen? You came up on my show avoiding the topic anyways. I've entertained you the whole time. Okay? Because guess what? Guess what? Hold up. The only reason why I tolerated you is because I'm smart enough to see that what you're saying follows the same line of reasoning of what I'm trying to achieve by saying that there is no God. Hence, I can entertain you. In fact, I can give you more time. So you need to also be smart. You also need to be smart enough to know that what I'm saying is following the same line of reasoning, though it's not the same hypothetical, the same example, the same scenario.
No. So first of all, we're still on the same topic then, right? You say there is no God. Mm-hmm. I say there is. And talking about fact and truth is a really important part of getting to that
I only decided to entertain you about that because guess what? When you say that there is no God, and then you try to talk about facts and truth without making it relate to God directly, you're not really saying anything. Hence, I will give you this opportunity right now. Tell me exactly why you think there is a God. You know, I should have said this to you 2 seconds after you first came to my show. But we've had a nice conversation. Let's go right back to the original topic. Since you like topics, right? You like the original topics. Tell me exactly why you think that there is a God.
Why I think there is a God? I think, like I said at the beginning, I think I need a reason to believe there isn't one because I always think everything has a cause. So ultimately, we have to get down to one cause.
How is that?
Like
Okay,
the
okay.
Big Bang.
So
The
let
Big
me ask
Bang
them.
is a
Hold
singular
up, hold up,
point.
hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
Uh-huh.
Ultimately, we have to get down to one cause. Why?
Because that is where science leads us.
Okay, and
Like
I
if
said to you, name something which is caused by a singular thing in our reality.
name any, I feel like anything is caused by a singular thing if you back up far enough.
Give me an example.
The universe,
Okay.
the Big Bang, it's coming from a singular point.
So let me ask you: did the Big Bang create space?
Did the Big Bang create space? The Big Bang
Yeah.
is what is in space.
Okay. Then where did space come from?
No. The Big Bang is part of space.
I get it, but where this? Hold up, bro.
That's
Relax
what I'm
again.
saying. So space wasn't here.
Relax. What does the Big Bang say? Tell me. What does the Big Bang say?
The Big Bang is the working backwards of the expansion of but it's the working backwards of the expansion of the universe into a singular point where time, space, and
Is it
matter.
a literal expansion or is it intrinsic?
Literal.
No.
What do you mean by intrinsic? I don't even know what that means.
It's a manner of saying that space is made up. The universe is made up of space, time, and matter. Okay. What the Big Bang is the expansion of matter, not all of the universe. So we just generalize it, right? But in depth, what's expanding is matter, not space, not time. You can, in a way of saying, you can say time is expanding as you see the series of events moving, right? But space in of itself, it's ever present. It has no it has no origin and it's unquantifiable because you can't have anything without space. So even that first small thing that would have expanded would still have to be somewhere. Where is that somewhere that something was? Where did that somewhere come from? That somewhere is also part of the universe, which is not expanding. That's somewhere. Space itself is not expanding. That's not what's expanding.
I mean, what you're disagreeing with is modern science, not Christian science, not scholarship, but like the general consensus of science is time, space, and matter have a singular point of origin.
Again, that is a theory. That hold up, bro. That's what I don't get you guys, man. You don't know how to differentiate between theories and laws and facts. Bro, it's a theory. You know, it's a work in progress. What they are talking when they mention the Big Bang is what we have been able to achieve with our highest level of technology, but we can tell that there is more that we don't know. So it's okay, right? Like, hey, bro, I see the horizon. That must be where the sky begins. That's what the Big Bang is. The Big Bang, from our perspective, is the horizon of our existence. Now, we need instruments that will allow us to see beyond that. And you know what happens? You know what happens when you go past the horizon? It just fucking keeps going, bro. It's an infinite regression. It's an infinite regression. Just like the atom. There was a time when the atom was indivisible. In fact, where the Big Bang theory is right now is the same place where the indivisibility of the atom used to be at some point before someone broke it down. So don't quote that. Don't quote that as though it's some everlasting, unchangeable consensus. No.
No. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying you said there's absolutely no chance that there's a God over that horizon that you don't know the limits of.
Yeah.
I'm saying, how do you have the right to eliminate an option if you know that you don't know everything?
Because the option, I know for a fact, was born out of ignorance. And that ignorance and that option has never been consistent with reality at any point in time. In fact, that option only has sentimental value. It has no factual value. Outside of how it makes you feel, believing in God does absolutely nothing for a person in this world.
I mean, that's just your opinion, but
that's the practicality of the matter. Tell me anything that a person who believes in God can achieve that I who don't believe in God cannot achieve. Tell me one thing in this world.
No, it's if God doesn't exist, not believing in him. If God doesn't exist, we don't exist. Like
Why?
Your conscience, your standard doesn't exist.
Why?
Well, that's like arguing our video games.
If God doesn't exist, we don't exist. Why?
Well, if God is real and he's so just tell me this. If God created, if he's real and he created the universe and then he doesn't exist, that means we by extension wouldn't exist. That's like saying apples exist because of trees.
Or God could be dead and he doesn't exist
Sure.
anymore, right?
Okay.
So
I mean, sure.
listen.
I can give you that.
That's y'all's problem with y'all's idea of the origins. Y'all
Wait,
think
I
that
didn't
whatever
even disagree with you.
Yeah. Hold up, bro. The way you guys believe in God, you have this perception in your head that because something originates is the origin of something else, it has to persist eternally. Okay? And guess what? If God is dead, that's not God. Listen, if whatever began everything is dead, it's not God. Because God is defined as an undeniable being.
Which means he wouldn't be dead then, based on your own
Okay,
logic.
okay, good. If he's not dead, where is he right now?
In the same place he's always been.
Where?
In us, through us, and everywhere.
Where?
Like he would be. Okay, so let me tell it to you this way. If time, space, and matter all begin at a certain point, and someone's responsible for
Space, time, and matter did not begin.
Okay, I mean at that point you're disagreeing with like actual.
No, I'm not disagreeing. Science doesn't say that time began.
Okay, I mean like I don't.
According to science, time is infinitely regressive. There's always gonna be time. Nothing can exist without time. Time is infinite.
Time is actually relative to space and matter. Time doesn't exist without the other two.
Time is not just relative. Time is relative to mind. To mind. Okay? To mind.
I mean, that's even more important because if a mind
there you
hasn't
go.
been here the whole time,
there you go.
Then how does time go backwards?
Listen. What is time? Tell me. What is time?
What is time? That's a tough one. It would be the time. How do you define time without time?
It's amazing how you be using words that when they're actually defined, all of a sudden it's so hard. So you've been talking about it this whole time and you still need to think about it?
Time out. We got to do this real quick because genuinely, I'm a person who loves critical thinking. I love feedback. I can be wrong.
And I like that about you.
Okay, cool. But I'm saying, so like, I don't mind getting on this live and realizing I haven't thought about that before.
That's fantastic. I'm just curious why you were talking about it if you haven't really thought about it like that. But it's no harm done. No harm done, bro. Just tell me, what is time?
Yeah. I'm just saying, are there things that both of us use often that we can't define? Like energy, time, consciousness.
Listen, at the very best, I have a subjective definition for everything that I would say, and it's usually consistent with the actual definition. I try not to say things that I'm not really sure about to a degree, with a certain degree of certainty, at least beyond shadow of doubt. I try my best. That helps me stay consistent. So if I think about saying something and I don't really know what I'm talking about, I won't say it. The moment I say something, I have a good enough understanding. Now you just tell me, what is time?
Okay, so time would be the measure of matter moving through space.
No, sir.
That's like the actual measurement. It would be time. Like two.
You know what? I will give you a cookie for that. But that's a very elementary definition of time. Okay, time is just the movement of events.
What are events?
Okay. When something that exists goes from one state to another, whether by act or by thought.
Whether by act or by thought.
Yes. So guess what? If God exists, time has to be older than God. So God will also have to be something that has a beginning to exist. Okay? If you say that everything that exists has a beginning, because guess what? At some point, God had to be God.
Everything that's created has a beginning.
Listen again. No, it doesn't have to be created to have a beginning.
No, I'm just you said what I said. I'm just making sure.
Get this right. Let me tell you something about God, okay? Let me show you how events, okay? Before God created anything, where was God?
God, what? Like, where was God is a tough question if there is no where.
Thank
that's
you.
Why consciousness.
No. You said it. Mm-hmm. Before God created anything, God was nowhere. You see? You said it.
But
hold on. You got it now. Now you got it, bro. Now you got it. That's the biggest problem with the existence of God. Because when you remove space, time, and matter, bro, that's the equivalent of being nowhere at no point in time as nothing. Nothing, nowhere, no space.
Yeah, we're on the same page. I think you just think I'm done. Like, My thing is, where is consciousness?
Consciousness is not somewhere.
It's not somewhere.
Yes,
Where?
consciousness. The word consciousness is an imaginary concept constructed by human beings to literally define our response to stimulus, to describe a physical process. In fact, the word consciousness is like the word temperature. So you will not properly understand consciousness if you don't understand that it's a phenomenon. It's not a thing. It's an idea that describes a thing. What is the thing that consciousness describes?
Yeah. So
The ability of a thing to respond to stimulus would then be called consciousness.
Okay. So that means and that goes for mind too? Like the mind. You think the mind is nowhere?
Can the mind is also an idea, yes. That describes
Okay.
a system that has sensors. A physical system that has sensors that can collect data, process that data, analyze that data, and make decisions and react.
Okay, so the mind is
So
physical.
there is no mind without a physical construct. You are correct. The
that's interesting.
concept of the mind is only valid when describing something physical. That's why the only real things are physical things. Things which are not physical are not real.
So ideas aren't real.
No, ideas are conceptual. They're not
Okay,
real.
wait, that's important then. So ideas aren't real, but because of them, you can make things that are real.
There you go, because we have the ability to run simulations in our mind. You're correct.
Okay, that's important. Which
That
means
is why, listen, let me tell you, hold on, let me show you why. Let me show you why design and ideas, in fact, let me show you how design and ideas work hand in hand. If you have an idea in your head and you don't make a blueprint, you cannot replicate that idea into reality. It's impossible. That's why every design, something cannot be a design without a blueprint. Go and look up the meaning of the word design. So
No,
ideas,
that's actually my point.
listen. Ideas is when you use imaginary things to inspire you to get real things. But there are
Yeah.
some ideas which cannot inspire you because they are so far beyond, completely unrealistic, right? So the more realistic your ideas are, the more consistent your ideas are with reality, the more practical they will be. The more far-fetched your ideas are, the more impractical they will be. Ideas that are completely impractical, we call them fiction.
Okay, so it sounds like the mind and the ideas, the things that are not, actually are responsible for creating the things that are.
No.
No. So you think when you see a book on the floor, you assume either a human made it or a monkey did, or maybe it was a bunch of bees. Like, do you see intelligence when you see a book with letters in it that make a story?
Yeah, I see the product of intelligence, or the product
Okay.
of what, hold up. I see the product of what I could assume is intelligence. I'll require
Okay, cool.
confirmation.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
had I not been previously exposed to books, my first encounter with a book would not be that it is the product of intelligence. I
You
will need
don't
more
think
data.
if you don't think if you had seen, like you think if you had picked up a book and actually could read the letters, you wouldn't assume intelligence is responsible for this.
The moment I can read the letters, that means I already knew, I was already familiar with it. Like I said, let's say,
Okay.
listen, think about it, okay, bro? Imagine you go to some village where people have never read or written, and you just put a book. It will be a strange thing, but no one will have a clue what it is. You can't
But I
say
think
you can't say it's the product of intelligence. Do you
you don't think that village would,
do you know what intelligence is?
do I know what intelligence is?
Yes, what is intelligence?
I think it's the mind that creates things.
Nah,
Okay, what you got?
the ability to apply knowledge and skill. You see, intelligence is not what happens in your head. Intelligence is your ability to apply whatever is in your head. Our head does have the ability to observe reality as it is and attempt to replicate it. That's why the idea of the airplane doesn't originate from human brains. No, it originates from observing what's already around us. And then we try to replicate it. In our failure to replicate it, we come up with what works best for us.
Okay. So you feel like if you saw an airplane, you think if you took an airplane to a first or third world country and dropped it off, they would not know if an ape was responsible or a person.
If you
You
go to a
genuinely think
place,
they'd
if
be
you yeah,
confused.
if you take an airplane to a place where people have never seen an airplane, they won't know the difference between it and a bird.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you're underselling people at this
No,
point.
it's not, bro.
I
Look,
think
no, I'm not underselling people, bro. That's the unfortunate state of ignorance. Ignorance is bliss.
no, but I'm saying they're still making teepees. They're still doing something that the rest of nature isn't. So if they see
Again,
something,
if a person who has never seen an airplane before saw an airplane, they
they'll
would
assume
think of it in the
intelligence.
same way they think as a bird, bro. If you listen, bro, if you and I went to Jerusalem today and we flew with a Boeing 747 in the sky over Jerusalem and they saw it, what would they think it is?
Jerusalem? They better think it's a plane.
If you and
Jerusalem
I,
is a
if
very
you and I took a plane right now and traveled 2,000 years into the past and flew over
oh,
Jerusalem,
2,000 years.
2,000
Oh,
years in
okay.
the past. Yes, like I said, if we go 2,000 years in the past and we fly in a Boeing 747 over Jerusalem, what would they think it is?
Oh, well, then they would probably think it's an angel or something. I don't know. They'd think it's something else.
They would think it's
Some
an angel?
Are they close enough to see it? Like that's
Yeah, I mean, think about it, right? A
like
plane, let's
does
say
it
10,000
move?
feet, 10,000 feet in the sky. You look up and you see this object moving
Oh,
in the
okay.
sky.
Yeah, at that distance, it's a bird or something just very
It's a
high.
what?
That's yeah, it's a
It's a
bird or
what?
something really high. A bird.
Thank you. I
But I'm
rest my
saying
case.
that's not what we're talking about.
That's
We're
what I'm
talking about
talking
if the
about. That's
airplane
what
lands.
I'm talking about. I'm saying to you that anything, if you see something that you've never seen before, you're gonna try to match it with any real thing that you've seen before.
Right.
Because
But hold on.
because your brain cannot just make up what it is without previous knowledge.
No. Okay. Because this is what I'm saying. When I said the example airplane, you put it at such a far distance that we can't identify it. I'm saying if the airplane lands, they will assume intelligence, not nature.
Bro,
Right?
bro, you know what, bro? We do that shit today even. Bro, what is a UFO?
Unidentified foreign object.
Why don't we call it an airplane?
Because we can't identify it as an airplane.
Thank you. Why can't we identify it as an airplane?
Because it's not an airplane.
No, because we haven't seen it before. It is an airplane. It's
It
an
is?
aircraft. Anything that moves through the air that is mechanical is an aircraft, bro.
I mean, it's an unidentified flying object. That's what it
Thank
is.
you. We call it object. We don't even know. It could be organic.
But here's my thing. If somebody assumed, if they saw a UFO, that it's one thing to think aliens might have made it. It's another thing to think, oh, maybe this thing just popped up. Like trees grow apples and this time it just grew a UFO. That would be a very strange conclusion, right?
Say that again.
Like we would assume a UFO comes from intelligence. Like for us, seeing a UFO would actually confirm something besides us. It wouldn't confirm, it wouldn't be like, oh, I guess apples are growing UFOs now. Like nobody would assume it came from nature.
That's why I asked you earlier what intelligence was. And I said to you, is the ability to acquire knowledge and apply skill. Right. So yes, because we already have that ability, it is easy for us to assume that anything complex is the product of that ability. But it's not always so. It's not always so, bro.
I agree, it's not always so.
Snowflakes are complex as shit, beautiful as shit, but it's not the product of any specific.
They happen all the time.
But it's not exactly. It's not the product of any specific intelligence. It's 100% nature.
Right. But that's why we know it's nature. Apples are complex. Everything with DNA in it is complex, or like everything's complex. But we attribute something totally different to things that have intelligence in them. Like that's what I'm saying.
Does nature have intelligence?
I think nature is intelligently designed, which would be my argument.
No. How do you design nature?
How do you design nature?
Yeah, you said nature was intelligently designed. How?
Like the laws of nature.
What laws
are there to consistently, like we can consistently observe. That's how science exists, by being able to consistently observe the laws of nature. Do you disagree with that?
Of course.
You disagree with the fact that science is observing the natural order of things.
Why did you call it the natural order of things?
The natural order of things, the natural laws of nature.
Why did you just call it the order of things?
The natural order, then to me they're synonyms. Laws, order, they're
No, no,
actually
no, no,
the
no,
same.
no, no, no. You said natural order, natural laws. Why didn't you just say laws? Why didn't you just say order? Why did you have to include the word natural? Do you know why?
Oh,
Do you know why you had to include that word? Let me tell you why. Okay, I'll give you the definition of the word nature. Okay. Oh, natural. I mean natural. Existing in or caused by nature, not made or caused by humankind.
okay. So why do we consider aircraft unnatural then?
Because it's artificial. We made it.
Yeah, but if humans are only a byproduct of nature, then we shouldn't be able to do anything unnatural, right?
Yes, but the aircraft is not a direct byproduct of nature. It's a product of something else. And guess what? We decide exactly what it is. What it
Okay,
is 100% within our control.
but that's true of apples too. Apples don't make themselves; they come from trees. Apples are products of trees.
What's the difference between a tree and an apple?
The tree comes from the apple.
The apple comes from the tree.
Yeah, oh, my bad. I said that backwards. You're right. The apple comes from the tree,
And the tree comes from the apple.
right? But we've
The-
never seen an apple make itself, right?
Listen to me. The apple is the tree. That's what you don't know.
How do I not know that?
Because without the apple, you can't have the tree. And without the tree, you can't have the apple. They're one and the same.
Right, but you never get just apples without trees. That's what
And
I'm
you
saying.
never
That's-
get just trees without apples.
Yeah, you do. You get all kind of trees.
You know what? You never just get trees without seed. Boo.
That's fair. So
I
look,
thought that was the context in which you were referring to the apple, but hey.
no,
apparently you
no.
didn't.
I'm saying one is dependent. Always, I can definitely expect.
Listen. I think you should switch it around and use leaves. Leaves would be a better example than fruits. Do you know
I
why
mean,
even
that's fair.
hold up? You're a Christian, right?
Uh huh.
What does Jesus say to you? By their fruit you shall know them, right?
Right.
He doesn't say by their leaves you shall know them.
I agree.
Now, if you're well studied, you might be able to identify a tree by its leaves, but some trees have very similar leaves and it's extremely hard to tell, right? But no matter how similar fruits are, they're always unique, right?
Agreed.
Because the fruit is more of the tree than anything else on the tree. Without the fruit, you don't have the tree, and without the tree, you don't have the fruit. The most unique part on the tree, which is dependent on the tree, are the leaves, and maybe the branches, and maybe the shape. But even the shape of the tree also depends on natural forces.
Wait. So we can pause there because I agree with you there. The problem is since we can't go back infinitely, like we're not tracing the apple tree back to the Big Bang, right?
We
Like
can
at
go
some
back
point,
infinitely.
You think within the cluster of the hydrogen and the hot gases and everything else that was at the beginning of the universe, there was an apple seed?
Not necessarily. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm just making sure. We're on the same page then. So anything that's dependent on itself, like people, like grass, like trees, all of these things we know, chicken or the egg, it's like all of these things run into the same issue of infinite regression. And we know if we go
That's
back
not an
further-
issue. An infinite regression is only an issue to a person with a limited brain.
No, it's not. I'm saying at some point we all agree that the apple wasn't here. It literally wasn't here at some point, right? Within the creation of the cosmos. However it started, God, no God, we know that apple was not back there.
What if the apple created the whole universe?
You can stand there if you want to.
No. Are you saying it's impossible that the creator was just an intelligent apple?
An intelligent apple.
Yeah. Do you have any proof to disprove the fact that your God that you believe in could just be an intelligent apple?
Yeah, I've never heard of anything like that. An
Yeah,
intelligent
because
apple.
guess what? Do you know why? Because instead of using human qualities as personification, I use something else to represent the same idea that you believe in, but you don't like it because it doesn't have human characteristics.
No.
That's what you're doing. No, think about it. It is not so more that God can be your father as a Christian than that God can be an apple. God could be a gorilla.
Oh, I see. If you're going to talk about the symbolism used to make him relatable, I agree with you. I don't think God is a dude. I don't think God's a guy. Like,
If
I
God,
think we use
if God is not a guy, then what you think God is, you don't know.
Huh?
If
What do
you
you
have to
mean?
use symbolism to describe what you say God is, then you don't know what God is.
No, that's how you make anything relatable, when something's beyond your understanding.
Thank you. There's a reason why it's beyond your understanding. You don't really understand it. So you made something up. And you are confusing what you made up for what it actually is in fact. Boom. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Whatever
I mean,
you've imagined in your head that you think is God, that's not what it is. Because whatever is in your head is 100% a product of your head, especially because your head can concede that whatever you're trying to reach is unreachable. You're not going to get there.
okay. So, I mean, this is why I'm like, we can substitute God for conscious entity. And at that point, we're in the same place.
Okay,
right?
what if God was an unconscious entity?
Then it wouldn't make sense for creation to begin.
But is it so strange that something which is beyond your understanding doesn't make sense to you? Is it so strange to you that something which you can't understand doesn't make sense to you? Is it so strange?
No, I think there's a such thing as logic.
Again, even with logic, you would say that God is incomprehensible, right? Per your religion.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you can't use logic because you've already
No.
considered that it's unconceivable. And for you to use logic, you're still attempting to conceive the unconceivable. And
No, that's not true.
logic can only represent the conceivable. Logic is not for inconceivable things. When we describe
No.
inconceivable things, those things fall in the realm of fiction. That's why logic needs to be backed by reality. Observable reality.
So you mean anything that is beyond our comprehension is by definition false?
It's something that doesn't even occur in our mind. You listen, bro, this is what I'm trying to say to you. You could not in the same sentence tell me that you cannot conceive something and then try to tell me what it is. That's madness. That's a contradiction. You said you don't know, and yet you want to sound like you know. There's a problem there. It's illogical.
No. I'm not saying I know the infinite. I'm saying the infinite exists. That's completely different.
And how do you know that the infinite exists if you're not infinite?
Well, there's a part of us that is. I think that's the mind. I think that's the
Hold up,
immaterial part of us that we go back to.
So what exactly makes you think that the mind is infinite?
Well, because it shares the same qualities that aren't in nature. That's
But
why you said
the mind depends on the body.
The mind depends on the body?
Without a physical form, there is no mind.
That's like saying without electricity, there are no TVs. I'm like, the television depends on electricity.
Yeah.
Well, without
A television that cannot receive electrical data is not a television, it's just a box.
Right. So you're saying, so we agree that the TV depends on electricity then, right?
But the electricity has
Not
physical form.
not the other way around.
But the electricity has physical form.
I mean, right. To make an analogy, I have to use something. I'm saying the TV is physical.
But to make an
and
analogy,
electricity
you have
is
to use
energy.
something that follows. You can't use a weak analogy. Come on now.
Well, no. I mean, if God is immaterial, then I have to use something.
If God is immaterial, God doesn't exist.
I mean, if that's what we're going to do, that's like okay. So let's move back a dimension. Let's say
Let me tell you why you're saying God is immaterial. Because you cannot conceive it. So you assume that it's immaterial. Yes, bro, listen, bro. You are only assuming that God is immaterial because you cannot conceive it. You've already told me it's inconceivable. Bro, how can you tell me that God is immaterial when you told me that God is inconceivable?
Let me tell you how. Okay. Let's say we're code, we're digital. Is digital reality for them real if we're digital, if we're code?
We're not
It's
code.
it's a real state. I know. But for the example, I have to go down a dimension because in order for code to exist, something had to make the code. And whatever made that code is not made of code. So everything in a video game is code. But whoever created it, we can assume, is not made up of code. Why? Because they made the code. So if
Hold up. hold up.
Okay.
But whoever made the code only made the code when attempting to replicate something which was already a code. Poof!
Like what? No. You
Bro,
got to explain that.
bro.
We're not just going to assume it made sense.
We write code in an effort to imitate what we see in nature.
Right. That's what we do. Yeah.
That's an attempt to reverse engineer. And guess what? That's consistent with intelligent design. Intelligence is the
agree.
ability to acquire knowledge and apply skill. You tell me exactly why an almighty, all-knowing being needs to acquire knowledge and apply skill.
Well, hold on. Because here's where we're different. Let's go up a dimension now. If everything in the world is material, then we can assume that if it is indeed in existence, it is not made up of the material.
It is not made up. Listen. Not that it's not made up of material. It has to be made up of material if it's real. It's not made up of the same material. Two different things.
No. Because if everything that is what we call reality, is what we call material, then whatever made it can't be made up of that stuff. That just
It can be. It can be.
That would just mean it's part of material, and therefore it's not the thing we're talking about.
Yes, it is the thing we're talking about. You cannot make something without raw material. Can you make something without raw material?
Well, that's why we made the whole point of anything that comes from intelligence.
You know what? Let me prove that to you, okay?
Yeah.
When there was only God, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was God made of?
God is consciousness. So God is mind.
Bro, consciousness is just an idea.
Well, I'm saying if we're going with that idea, I'm like mind is what God is.
Mind is just an idea.
Like you said earlier, spiritual in the Bible used to mean mental, mind, consciousness. So yeah, I mean,
Listen. This is the definition of the word mind. The element of a person that enables them to be aware of the world and their experiences, to think, to feel, the faculty.
mm-hmm.
That's only possible if a person's physical structure is designed in a specific way.
Mm-hmm. I agreed with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying the only way a TV works.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Mind is an idea that describes a process. The process is real. The word itself is just a concept. Consciousness is a concept that also describes our real process that is observable. We use that singular word to summarize the whole process. But the word itself is not the process. If you want to understand the word, you have to observe the process.
Right. So in the same way, when we look at TVs and we say that electricity runs through a TV, we know that electricity isn't dependent on a TV. A TV is dependent on electricity to work. And if the electricity stops going to the TV, it doesn't mean the TV stops existing. It just means the TV's dead. It stopped working.
What makes a TV a TV?
What?
What makes a TV a TV?
All right, we got to stop acting like those are questions. What?
That is a question, bro. Come on. What makes a TV a TV?
A television.
Yeah, what makes a television a television?
I mean, what? A physical and electrical power?
Its function, what it does. A TV that cannot do what a TV is supposed to do is just a box. It's not a TV. That's why I can take clay and make a replica of a box that looks just like a real TV, but it's not a TV.
Okay.
And for a TV to be a TV and function as a TV, it requires multiple elements, including electricity.
Right.
Now you're getting it.
No,
what makes a human is its function. And it takes multiple elements,
right,
to make it function. A
right.
human
And
being,
one of those things
a human
is a
being,
mother.
a human being who could not function as a human being is not a human being. That's why we have mannequins. Mannequins look just like us, but they're not human. That's why we have dead people that previously were human, but they're not anymore.
I mean, we agree though. That's like taking the electricity out of a TV. We would still call it. We
That's
just call it
like
a dead.
removing one of the elements. If you take the TV from the electricity, you get the same results.
If you take the TV from the electricity, you get the same results as if the electricity was in it.
Of course, you disconnect the TV from the electricity. That you're taking the TV away from the electricity, right? You have to plug the TV in.
It's no longer its function now. It's not a TV anymore, according to
Right.
your logic. It's a dead
Of course.
TV or a previously functioning TV.
It's not a TV. It doesn't work. That's why
Right, which means-
that's why it's television. It needs to
Right,
be
which
able
is-
to televise.
So when you take the mind or consciousness away from a human being, it's no longer a human being, according to your logic.
Yes, you're correct.
Which
And you want to
means
you want to know what happens to electricity when you disconnect it from its source? When you disconnect something from its electrical source?
Right. It dies, I assume.
Yes, all the
Unless-
current that is left in that object is discharged haphazardly. Haphazardly. That same amount of current those same elements that make up that specific current will never be assembled in one place again in the same state as they previously were. That's why when rain falls and a drop of water hits the mountain, that exact drop of water will never hit that exact same spot again. Ever. Never. Ever. In fact, that drop of water would never exist again as itself.
Right. So, okay.
That's
I mean,
that's what happens to our mind. Our mind is made up of multiple elements. It's not just electricity. Without the body,
I
you don't
agree
have
with
a
you there.
mind. Electricity
Well,
is
that's
not the
where I
only
disagree.
reason why we have a mind. They're also chemical.
No, but that's
It's-
true of TVs
listen,
too.
Listen, our mind is not just electrical, it's also chemical.
I agree with you.
That is why when the body ceases to function, the mind ceases to exist. Just like the body. The body just takes longer to cease to exist.
Okay. So,
It decays. It literally rots.
right. So with your
Hence,
example,
making death a permanent end of a human being in every way physically possible. The only way that a person remains valid is if there is memory of what they previously were in the minds of those who are still alive. So the mind doesn't live on. You said you started this whole thing. We went down this road because you said, "Oh, you believe something lives on after we die." No, life is impossible without the combination of everything that's within the body of a living human being. You take one element away, we call it a disability. You take enough away, that person dies.
right. But everything you just said is still true of televisions. It's not just that televisions are made up of electricity and fuses. It's like, no, it's made up of screens, pixels, 1,000 other things. And if you
You're
take
correct.
a couple of things away,
And that's what I'm saying, bro.
TV.
What makes it a TV is the combination of all those things together. You remove one of those things, it's no longer a TV.
I agree with you. My point is electricity is a very important component that is not dependent on a TV. And I think consciousness or the mind also is a very important component that
That's a
isn't
false
dependent on
equivalent
the-
because electricity is physical, but consciousness is not physical.
I mean, yeah, that I knew that going into the analogy. The same way that electricity
Then why are you
is.
using a false? Why are you using a false equivalent, bro?
Well, we're trying to make an analogy for something that's immaterial. So
Bro,
when I went down,
bro,
and used digital-
immaterial things don't exist.
Well, that's the same as saying in a digital world that physical things don't exist.
If I say
Like,
in a
we can make-
hold up. There's no such thing as a digital world.
You don't think like there is a digital?
No.
World?
No, what we
Code?
call the digital world is part of the physical world. It's physical. What we call the digital world is our interaction with the digital devices that we make. It's not the digital devices themselves. It's where digital world is describes our interaction. That specific phenomenon. There are many words, bro. Those words are called concepts. The
Okay.
concept.
I mean-
a digital world is not a literal world. It's a conceptual world. It's 100% imaginary.
Okay. I mean, then it's not physical
No.
if it's imaginary. Okay.
In of
But you just
itself,
said
it's not physical. Yeah. Listen, bro. In of itself, it's not even real.
I mean, that would be my argument for God is that He would be more real than us.
What's reality?
What is reality?
You heard me
I think
right.
everything that exists on our level of existence, of dimension, material.
You're wrong.
So yeah.
You're wrong. That's not the definition of reality.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not walking around with Webster's dictionary next to
You
me.
should
so you gotta
educate
brace me.
yourself properly. You probably should,
No,
my
no,
good
no.
brother.
That's
You
why.
pro-
I mean, look,
listen,
for real.
listen,
Like,
listen.
I appreciate conversations like this because
Yes. You should.
don't-
Look, I make a habit, bro. I literally make a habit of going through dictionaries, bro, because I've realized that English comprehension is a skill. It's not just something that you cannot keep up with and expect to be able to properly utilize. It's a tool that you have to train yourself with day and night, right?
No, that's actually why I don't go to a dictionary, because I think meanings matter more than words. And so if we can agree on the definition, like you have to have a concept first, and then we have to give that concept a word. Like this is why, because I know multiple
Bro,
languages.
if you and I have to agree for the definition of every word then we can't even talk to each other, my brother. We have to define every word that comes out of our mouth.
Yeah. I mean, that's what misunderstanding is. Like that's why
You're
I
correct. Misunderstanding is only born when somebody is not skilled in proper communication. Proper communication means you have to properly learn that language. You and I did not invent the English language. And to speak proper English, we have to use words with their meanings that we did not invent. If we have to invent meanings in our conversation, that meaning will be subjective just to us. But that's not the level at which I'm communicating with you. I'm trying to communicate with you at a level that everyone listening to us has a reference beyond you and I that they can reference to get the meaning of what we're saying. Reality is defined as the state of the world as it is, rather than conceptual or notional ideas of them. If you are having to conceptualize it, it's not real. Now, can you conceptualize something that describes a real thing? Yes, but there is a difference between that concept itself and what that concept is trying to explain. And without proper English comprehension or without proper comprehension of the language that you're speaking, you wouldn't be able to utilize it. Hence, mathematics involve a certain level of comprehension for you to be able to properly utilize formulas. That is why, despite the fact that we all were given formula sheets in class, not everybody could still solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
When the teacher gives us the same exact test and gives us the exact formula sheet, the formula sheet is the standard. And that anyone that properly understands those concepts can use that standard to solve those problems and get the same answer. And when we get the same answer, that's how we validate that something is true, real, or a fact.
Mm-hmm. We don't disagree at all.
Hence, God doesn't exist because you keep having to imagine it while telling me that it's inconceivable.
Yeah. I mean, hey, so look, I appreciate this for real. Like, this has been cool. And, you know, like, I'm always down to have longer, more conversations. But,
fair. Listen, bro. I wouldn't even use the word smart, but I like the way your brain thinks. That's why I engaged you for so long. Our conversation is not a matter of right and wrong. I think anyone who's been paying attention has had their mentality sharpened a little bit, okay? There's nothing wrong if we're on extreme ends of anything that we're talking about. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not trying to make you look stupid. I'm not trying to win the argument. If you say something that I disagree with, I try my best to articulate factually why I disagree with what you're saying. And if you can check me factually, then hey, you did what you did.
Right. Cool.
But you haven't been able to check me when it comes to me saying there is no God.
Well, I mean, I think I made some fair cases, but
I think you tried.
It's one of those things.
I think you tried.
Yeah, I mean, now we're just both having opinions about the conversation. So I'm not going to try to argue you down on your opinion. So, I mean,
what opinion? What opinion did I give you that was just an opinion?
Well, I'm saying if I said if I felt like I made good points and you said you thought I didn't, then both of us have different opinions, right?
No, it's not feelings. I can factually show how you did not make good points. It has nothing to do with my feelings.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't think that. I feel like I could do the same thing.
Of course you don't think that.
But of course you don't think. Like you see what's going to happen if we keep doing that?
No, nothing's going to happen. Other than the fact that you cannot, listen, bro, you would never be able to rationalize why you said that something was inconceivable and then 2 seconds later your mouth was trying to tell us what it is. Inconceivable means you haven't conceived it. So what the heck are you telling me?
Well, you're telling me that the inconceivable is false. I'm telling you the inconceivable might just be beyond our understanding and can still be true. That's the simplest way I can
If
say
it's
that.
inconceivable, then you can't know if it's true. That's what you said.
Yeah.
You have to be able to conceive it in order to validate the truth of its existence, but you can't conceive it.
That's not true. Like, if aliens exist and we can't conceive it, they still exist right now.
That's why we can only theorize. So are you saying you believe in God is a theory? A hypothesis?
That's literally what everything is that we can't see. The Big Bang is a theory. I think
Thank
it's
you.
a theory.
Thank you. Listen. Hey, good job. Good job.
Cool.
For conceding that your belief in God is a theory. I would never have argued with you this much.
Oh, okay. I mean, no, I
So
appreciate
you just
it.
are you theorizing. So you're saying it's a possibility you could be wrong.
I hope that wasn't the energy you thought I was coming with. Like,
No.
everything
Listen.
was
Obviously,
agnostic.
if I 100%, I wouldn't have engaged with you, okay? Because you clearly see the way I'm
Okay.
talking. It's my
Yeah.
show, and I know I've been a little bit hostile, and you're very tolerant. That's good for you, right? But of course,
Mm-hmm.
if you were beating me up with the Bible, I would have used it to beat you up.
Yeah, no. That's why that was one of the first
In
points I
fact,
made.
your way of thinking is a more tolerable way of believing in God. Because you've already conceded something that shows me that you're not necessarily indoctrinated.
Yeah.
You just said to me there's a possibility you could be wrong, bro. How many Christians have you ever met that can tell you that?
But no, hey, 100 for real. We can laugh about that. Look, I
Yeah,
got
we
a
can
family,
laugh about
but
that.
like,
I don't think your ass is a Christian.
no. Like, for real.
I think you
I
are
am.
an undercover skeptic.
So look, hey, for real.
I think you are an undercover skeptic. I think you're scared of something. That's why you're just like leaning on the Christian side a little bit, just in case hellfire is real. He's like, yeah, God damn it, I ain't messing around. I don't want to go to hell by mistake. I don't want to go to hell by mistake. So I'm gonna save enough beans so I can eat when Jesus comes back.
Nah, for real. Because for all the things that we disagree on, one thing I definitely like, and it's on my channel. Like, I spend more time trying to help Christians be critical thinkers. Like, I'll always respect honesty over loyalty.
You have
So to
achieved
me,
more than most Christians that I have spoken to on my show, bro. Simply by one statement you made. There is a possibility you could be wrong. Bro, my hostility, I'm not even telling Christians not to believe. Everyone on TikTok who's ever said God doesn't exist, we're not telling you not to believe. We're telling you to understand the difference between imaginary ideas and reality. Be able to separate those. Because to a certain degree, bro, all imaginary things would at least be good. If not for reality, at least for entertainment.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
Bro,
Like,
I love reading the Bible, bro.
Yeah. Nah, because that's what I'm saying. I'm like, we could definitely say, but together, it would be better if Superman existed than if he didn't.
Hell
the fact
no.
that he's not real.
Hell no.
Okay.
I'd rather live in a world where Superman... Bro, if Superman exists, that means Lex Luthor exists. I don't want to be one of those people who died because of Lex Luthor.
All right,
That means...
that's facts.
Yeah, that means aliens are always invading the earth. I don't want to live in that fucking world. No, I'm good with Donald Trump. If Donald Trump is the closest thing we have to fiction in real life, I'm okay with it, man.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Uncle Trump and his hair, bro. You know what? I hope that one day we find out if Donald Trump's wig is real or not real. I think that's a better argument than arguing about God.
Next live, we can talk
I
about
think
it.
y'all can just concede that God is not real, and then we can talk about Donald Trump's wig.
And then we can talk
Is that
about
his
Trump.
real hair or no? Honest question
no.
though. Honest question though. Do you think that's his real hair?
Well, he dodged a bullet and it stayed on, so I feel like that's good evidence.
Bro, when I saw bro, you know that he dodged the bullet literally, right?
I don't actually know. I didn't see it.
I heard a Christian pastor saying that the Spirit of God came upon Trump and Trump dodged the bullet. Like Samson.
See, hey, I'm not gonna lie, this is why these be so hard, because I have to undo so much nonsense that by the time people realize I'm just being reasonable, it's like they like, look, man, I didn't talk to too many nonsense.
Bro, you should go on YouTube and look at the Trump preachers, bro. Go and look at the Trump preachers, bro.
The Spirit of God.
There
made
is
me
absolutely nothing wrong with being a Trump supporter. But being a Christian extremist and being a Trump supporter is a bad combination, bro.
Yeah.
It's a
100%.
horrible combination.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you. If you got your political opinion, that's one thing. But when you supercharge it with religion and then make your moves, you start to get dangerous. For me, and I'm a Christian, but yeah. So
No, you're trying to be a Christian. You're not really quite a Christian.
No, I
Because
mean, if
listen, bro. Listen, bro. The Bible
Mhm.
says in the book of James, he that has doubt is like a man who looks at himself in the mirror and walks away and forgets it. Based on
Ooh,
what the
you better
Bible said,
preach.
bro, you're not a
I mean,
Christian.
yeah. Well, no,
Unfortunately,
I
my good
mean,
brother, you said to me that there is a possibility that you could be wrong. And the Bible
right.
says to you that you have to believe in God beyond the possibility that you could be wrong. You
Well,
see,
I could
so
counter that because if faith is what we're supposed to have, then being absolutely certain means that you don't have faith. You can't be absolutely certain and then have hope. That's not a thing. So, to me, anybody who's going to stand on absolute certainty and then say I believe is contradicting themselves already. But that's its own issue. But
listen,
that's what I be doing
listen,
on my channel.
listen,
I be trying to
listen.
help
Let me
Christians
read
out.
something to you. James chapter 1 from verse 4.
Hmm.
Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If
Hmm.
any one of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like the wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person
Hmm.
should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double minded and unstable in all they do.
Hmm.
Believers in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position.
Hmm.
Don't doubt, my bro.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I think about
The
with
moment you
confidence.
say there is a possibility that you could be wrong, you've doubted. And Jesus ain't on your side no more. The only one
That's a
on
good
your
answer.
side is Sleepy Joe. And Sleepy Joe already don't quit on you. Sleepy Joe's like, I can't do 4 more years. Thank you for your time, my brother. I appreciate you, man. This was an awesome conversation. All the
All right,
humor
cool, man. I
aside,
appreciate it.
all the jokes aside, good conversation, man.
Yeah. All right, I'll let the next people get up.
For
Peace.
sure, for sure. This guy took away all my time. But that was a good one. Let's see who's gonna be a lucky guest. Do not expect to talk to me for as long as I spoke to that last guest.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Um, I relate a lot to everything you say. But
Amen.
but so basically Adam has all conscious. He's fully conscious of everything.
Say that again.
Like Adam and Eve, I'm pretty sure, are fully conscious of everything. Like they basically know everything. Yeah, I don't know if that goes a little bit over both of our heads.
Keep talking. I'm listening.
Um, well, I was just thinking that the people with melanin, we all have melanin, but the darkest ones, um, they have more awareness
Hello,
than
darkness,
us
my old friend. I've come to talk with you
because
again. Because a vision softly
yeah. So I'm right.
creeping left its seeds while I
So
was
basically, the jewels are you
sleeping.
guys. You guys are the
And the
jewels.
vision that was planted in my
So because of
brain
that,
still remains within the sound of silence.
yeah, because I feel obligated
Restless
to read the
dreams I
Bible.
walked
Like I read like a couple
alone,
pages, but
narrow streets
Hold
of
it right there, my brother. I got
cobblestone,
one question for you.
yeah.
neath the halo of a street lamp.
If you can answer this question, we can keep talking.
All right.
What does silence sound like?
And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never share. No one dare disturb the sound of silence. Fools say I do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like silent raindrops fell.
You tried your best, my brother, but you failed.
Why? How come?
The answer was nothing.
Yeah, basically.
So you fell for my trap. It kind of made a little bit of a mockery out of you, but that was a little bit smart. That was good though. That was good.
Thanks.
Yeah. The answer to the question, what does silence sound like, is nothing.
It's nothing.
Yes, sir. Thank you, my brother.
All right.
I appreciate you. Okay. No beef, right?
Yeah.
No beef between you and I.
No, never.
Word.
All right.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I got to go. Today's a work day. I cannot stay online forever. I will try my best to put these videos up on YouTube. If you want to go back and scan through them, please do. But I cannot invest as much time as usual. You see, if you guys were paying me like $10 an hour, I probably could. But it's hard, man. It's hard these days. A brother got to go and work. You know, I got a job. I got a job in real life. This is more of passion than work. I don't even battle because I don't want to stress you guys financially. But some of you guys, yeah, you're just stingy. I might not even be stressing you. You can totally afford to give me your whole next paycheck. But because I'm not the pastor, you're not going to give it. I know you already. Good for you. You're smart enough to not be scammed. Good. Thank you, brothers and sisters. No harm, no foul. Thank you so much to everyone, believer and unbelievers. We're all human beings, okay? Ultimately, in the real world, we got to have each other's back. The reason why we have these discussions is so we can break through all the boundaries of separation that separate us, okay? No matter how much we disagree, y'all, we can't survive without each other. Religious people cannot survive without non-religious people. Non-religious people cannot survive without religious people. So these arguments are not to generate hatred inside of us. So let's not call people who don't believe stupid, please. Well, actually, I actually do be calling people stupid. So that was a little bit hypocritical of me. I do be calling people stupid. Damn, Bakanga. Shit. I just called Bakanga contradicting Bakanga. Whoa, I saw that gift. I just saw a non-stingy human being in the comment section, but I know why it is you, because you have been one of my day ones. I just had an epiphany. I said don't call people stupid, but I do call people stupid. Though not literally, but that was hypocritical. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it's a bad idea for me to collect offering. This is offering time. If the Lord has put in your heart to bless me this day, please go ahead and bless me. In the name of Jesus. Hey, in the mighty name of Jesus. It shall be doubled upon you. It shall be, in fact, did you know that the Bible says, if you don't give to the servants, Bakanga, you will not make it to heaven? Did you know that if you invest in me, you will have a mansion in heaven? Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. But now that you know, go ahead. Boys, those of you who are only sending me roses, you're going to hellfire. Thank you for the roses. If you're only selling me roses, I will save a place for you next to me when I get to hell. Because you guys know me now. You know me. I'm going to hell. I'm not going to heaven, no. I'm not going to a place where there is no pain, no suffering, no tears. I will take my chances with hellfire. I am going to hellfire. Look at them galaxy. Galaxy. Hey! 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 Ask, and you shall receive. Give, and you will be Bakangalized. In the mighty name of Bakanga. Thank you so much to my people. It's only them people who is blessing me anyways. Those of you who don't want to bless me, I'll see you in hell. Don't ask me for water when we get to hell, okay? Don't ask me for water. When we get to hellfire, don't you ask me for, don't say, Bakanga, can I get a drop? Hell no. When I was on TikTok, you didn't send me no gifts. If you ask me, if you don't send me a gift and we'll get to hell, you ask me for water, I'll give you magma. I'll give you sulfur juice. Did you not know? Satan has made me in charge of all the lakes in hell. I'm in charge of the lake of fire. I'm in charge of the lake of water. I'm in charge of the lake of acid. I'm in charge of all the lakes. You will drink magma juice. And Jesus will not be able to save you. You're spending, listen, some of you are spending your whole life believing and being Christians when you're still going to go to hell. It is really good to figure out very early if you're going to end up in hell, okay? So at least you can go and have fun. Imagine spending your whole life being a Christian, going to church and praying and still end up in hell. Eish! If God exists and God created me, he created me to go to hell because I don't believe he exists. You see what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, don't spend... I know some people in their 60s who spend 50 years of their life being Christians just to deconvert. Deconversion is a very dangerous thing when you do it late. So if you are young and there is a possibility that you could deconvert, you want to do it now, when you still have the vigor of your youth. Now, this is no longer jokes. This is good advice. Okay? If you're going to come out of bullshit, you want to come out when you still have time. Some of you have remained virgins your whole life because Jesus told you to remain a virgin. Just to go and marry a man and find out that his thing does not work. Look, if you're a Christian and you're a virgin, but you watch porn, you're not a mental virgin. You've been brain fucked already. You're not a mental virgin. You have been mentally disvirgin. If you are a Christian and you are a virgin, but you watch porn, you have been mentally disvirgin. So those of you who are Christians, if you're going to marry someone and they tell you that they're a virgin, make sure you ask them if they've ever watched porn. You know what watching porn does to you as a Christian virgin? When you get married, you want your wife to begin to suck you like that, to ride you like that. And if she cannot ride you like that, what are you going to do? Now, you are going down the path of divorce. If you're a woman and you're a virgin and you're a Christian, you're waiting till marriage, but you have been watching porn. What if your husband's mandingo cannot mandingo you? Mandigo. Those of you who can speak pidgin, you understand. Mandigo. What if your husband mandingo cannot mandingo you? Why he cannot complete the mission? What are you going to do? Now you're going to go into sexual immorality in your old age. Sexual immorality is very bad in old age. Sexual immorality is for young people. Get that sexual immorality out of you when you're still young. Remove all that passion. Let that passion burn. Just make sure you don't carry STDs. Because your God set you up for trouble. Your God created STDs. Hey. I just found out yesterday, y'all. To be real, I found out something yesterday. I just found out yesterday that it's possible to have HIV/AIDS and not give it to your partner, even without protection. And that scared the shit out of me. That scared the shit out of me. That scared the shit out of me, y'all. Hi. So technically, no, let me not say what I'm thinking. But those of you who are still not sending me gifts, I give you a little bit of time. You are stealing from the Lord. Look at you, stealing from Lord Bakanga. Why are you stealing from Lord Bakanga? In fact, I know what I can do. Let us test this out. I've never tested this out. I'm going to do it one time. Yeah, I don't see anybody interesting. No, never mind. I was trying to battle, but all I see is half-naked women. I was trying to do battle, but I just looked, and all I see is half-naked women. I don't want to begin to fall into temptation. I need to focus on my job. Ish. They're just there looking pretty. Life is easy for you women, oh. Can you imagine just coming to sit on TikTok and people just begin to give you money like that? While some of us have to go and work. Aye. If I battle them, will you make me win? I'm not going to stress you guys like that. Do not be with a strange woman. That's good advice. You don't want to be with any stranger. You don't want to be with strangers. That's why you need to get to know people before you want to be with them. You want to get to really know people, because if you're only getting to know what those people want to show you, that is why this is relationship advice now, y'all. You will know that you are in a relationship with someone when they are willing to allow you to know about them things that they don't really want you to know. Oh, come on. You would know that you are in a serious relationship when someone is willing to allow you to know about them what they don't really want you to know. Body count. If you are with someone you don't know their body count, they are hiding a secret. In fact, that body count might be increasing even while you guys are still together. Am I lying? If I'm lying, prove me wrong. If you are with somebody and they haven't told you their body counts, either the number is too big, no problem, or it is steadily going up and you don't even know. This is advice for men. As a man, never be with a woman if you don't know her body count. If you're a man, never be with a woman if you don't know her body count and if you cannot accept her body count. So, there's no guarantee you're going to like it when you find out. But if you can find out and accept it, you can have a real relationship with that person. If you are a man and you ask your woman for her body count and she doesn't tell you, that thought will eat you like a cancer. That thought will eat you. Of course, you have to accept it. If you love somebody before you knew, if you like somebody before you knew their body count, what all of a sudden makes you not like them after you know their body count? Knowing their body count is a gesture of transparency to build trust. It does not devalue them. It does not devalue. Once you have already had an attraction towards somebody, especially if you've already penetrated. If you penetrated, you don't have the right to judge them by body count anymore. If you have entered the territory, if you have visited the cave, if you have hiked the mountain, if you've colonized the territory, if that woman's private part is your colony, you do not have a right. In fact, it's madness to judge her for her body count. The reason why it's good to know her body count is for transparency and openness. Openness. There needs to be openness in any healthy relationship, my people. Especially religious people. Don't let that your husband who is a pastor lie to you. He has been twisting his waist in all types of angles. He can make any shape with his waist. Don't let the Holy Ghost fire make you think that he is a saint. Especially you religious women. That's why you went and married a pastor. You thought that you found the best one. Come to find out, he is banging sister this, sister that, sister this. He's always having late night prayer sessions. This is for those of you in Africa, because African pastors are very good at doing this. Late night prayer sessions. Late night, Sometimes they go up the mountain. Why do you have to go up the mountain to pray? God can't come down. God can't come down. Are you telling me your God is too tired to come down? So God left all the way from heaven, made it to earth. Do you know how far heaven is? But he can't just come down from the mountain. That's what I find very funny about the story of Moses. Moses had to go up the mountain to go and get the 10 commandments. And then God had to leave all the way from heaven. Hey, God is wicked though. God still made he still made Moses hike that big ass mountain. I said, God, if you have the power to come down, why don't you just come down all the way? God is everywhere, including your imagination. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for everyone. Hey, Viola and Gemini, you guys are the OGs. And to all of you, my stingy followers, please continue to be stingy. Don't ever stop being stingy, okay? To all of you, my stingy followers, please maintain your stinginess. You're even stingy with your likes. I'm pretty sure right now you're only listening to my voice. You don't even want to look at my face. You're even stingy with your eyes. Hey, some of you might be looking at my face. You're not even hearing my voice. You're even stingy with your ears. Not believing in God has consequences though. It makes it very hard to collect offering and tithes. If the government is taking 10%, your church is taking 10%. Why can't you give Bakanga 1%? All these my African brothers and sisters who did not even complete high school, and you want to come here and school me about God. Thank you, Teresa. Why is it that all my African brothers and sisters, you never completed your education, but you only know how to speak English when you want to come and argue with me? So you can begin to use words that you don't even know the meaning. I'm not having any God debate. Right now, I'm just talking. Right here, right now, I'm just talking. I am spiritually Nigerian, but I am physically Cameroonian. Darkness is won, money gone. That's what I'm talking about. Let it go. Let it go. Don't hold on to that money. Let it go. Let it go. And you might just make it to heaven. Why don't you just give me your money? You gave your pastor thousands, but you can't even give me $1. Listen, anyone who is giving me gifts, okay, I concede that it is 100% a product of your generosity. You cannot scam people who are not slaves to the idea that you are preaching. When such people give, they give out of generosity. And even among religious people, there are many generous people among religious people who are being exploited. You should never have to give somebody anything because they ask. You should always be because you want to. Always. No matter how nicely they ask, no matter how enjoyable, no. You should never feel compelled. If what you are about to give is not coming from a place of generosity, don't give. Don't even give for pleasure. Don't give for pleasure. It is better to be stingy than to just give carelessly. It is better to be stingy than to just give carelessly. You are headed to an early grave. Or you are the prisoner of somebody's fabrication. Why you no believe God? I don't believe God because you know if you talk English. If you want to make I believe God, begin to speak English. My brother. They even type pidgin. Are you a pigeon box? Did they not teach you in school not to speak pidgin? Speak proper English, and I'll believe in God. In fact, if you can tell me believe in God in proper English, I will believe. If I believe in God, I will do it maybe for 6 months so I can collect tithes and offerings. I will become the most popular pastor in the world. I can preach the Bible better than your pastor. I can make you cry. If I open Bible, you will cry. If I open Bible, you will cry. Me. Look at my face. Yes, me, Bakanga. If I open the Bible, if I begin to preach to you, you will give me all your, you will bring your children to come and work for me. But I care about you, so I don't want to scam you. I don't want to use fire and brimstone. And what I'm saying to you is that don't let anybody else do it to you like that. Don't go and sit down in any church and let somebody preach to you for 1 hour, tell you how bad you are, how horrible you are, just to turn around and ask you for money. Now, they're not just asking for money, they're asking for specific amounts. You have some of these pastors, they hand out envelopes. $10,000 envelopes. $20,000 envelopes. How can your pastor give you an empty envelope? And then when he gets the envelope back, he gets it with money. You, when was the last time someone gave you an envelope with money that you did not work for? Hey, my people. Especially if you're not African, don't even worry about this. Until the day when one African country starts being a third world country, we're going to come down. As long as we're a third world country, we will keep fighting this scam that's going on in the church. Take all that money that you're giving those pastors and go and better the economy. Your pastor is driving Rolls Royce in Nigeria without roads. Your pastor has Ferrari in Nigeria without roads. How can somebody in Nigeria own a Ferrari? Which road are you going to drive that Ferrari on? Which road can you go more than 50 miles an hour in Nigeria? In Cameroon, especially Cameroon. There should be no speed cars anywhere in West Africa. There are no highways. Because all the money is in church. That's why pastors have big stomachs, overweight. If your pastor is overweight, leave that church. If your pastor is overweight, leave that church. And then if you are giving your pastor money and he's still too skinny, leave that church. Because he must be doing drugs. Maybe cocaine or something. Buying private jet to land at which airport? In your village? Some of you guys think I'm joking, y'all. There is the nonsense. Listen, y'all. If you believe in God and you don't live in Nigeria, what I'm about to say doesn't apply to you. You are very good. In fact, you are excellence. You are excellence. What I'm about to criticize about Nigeria, it's not all Nigerians, but Nigerian pastors. Hey. If a Nigerian pastor walks into a room, the temperature goes up automatically. Holy oil, holy fish, the keys of David, Jeremiah or Motoy. Hey, TB Joshua has died. Jeremiah doesn't want to leave you Nigerians alone. TB Joshua, the original scammer, has died. TB Joshua, the Lord Supreme of scammers in Nigeria, he passed away. TB Joshua was so good, he could even scam foreigners. He could scam white people with the Bible. TB Joshua was so good at scamming, he took the book of the colonizer and went and scammed the colonizer. That's why I have respect for TB Joshua. I have respect for TB Joshua simply for that fact. TB Joshua demonstrated that we Africans, we have an intelligence that we are using in the wrong way. Can you imagine? Did you see that video that came out about TB Joshua? Did you guys see that video? All those white women. I said, TB Joshua, are you not afraid? These are the people who colonize you. If you're not Nigerian, you won't understand. If you're not Nigerian, in fact, if you're not West African, if you're not African, you won't understand. Okay, so my brothers and sisters who are not Africans, please forgive me for this one. That man Now, I want Africans that can scam the Chinese using technology. That's the type of Africans I want. Because in order for you to be an African that can scam the Chinese, because the Chinese are the best technological scammers. Did you remember back in the day when something was made in China, it was considered low quality? But we don't consider things in China anymore low quality. Even though it is still low quality. Have you ever wondered why? China managed to convince the whole world that low quality was good quality. I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day. Thank you, everyone, okay? I just had to go on that just so I could get to 5 o'clock. It is now 5:02. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. If you believe in God, keep doing your thing. If you don't believe in God, keep doing your thing. Don't hate nobody because of what they believe. Do not hate anybody because of what they believe. Because you cannot hate a person for what they believe without hating yourself. You cannot hate a person for what they believe without hating yourself. Therefore, no matter what a person believes, no matter how much you disagree with them, don't hate. Don't dislike. Don't have animosity. You can logically criticize. You can logically criticize. You don't have to criticize emotionally. I know that some of you have suffered. Some of you have suffered. Many of you have left your religion and you're still depressed. I am here for you. Okay? I'm here for you. There is a right way to live your religion. If you live your religion for emotional reason, you're fucked. If you live your religion is such a powerful thing. If you live it for emotional reason, you will be worse than you were before when you were even in it. That's why we are promoting logic. Think your way out of it. Don't feel your way out of it. Think your way out of it. Don't feel your way out of it. If you think your way out of it, you have control. If you feel your way out of it, it controls you. You will begin to experience withdrawals like drugs. Some of you, your life has, listen, y'all. If you are honest enough to understand that what I'm saying right now is true, I am about to transform your life. Many of you, my followers, there is a depression you are hiding inside of you ever since you stopped believing in God. Because you stopped believing in God and you left your religion because of what somebody did to you. You left your religion because of what somebody did to you. If that's the reason, you need to go back into that religion and go and study it. And then study your way out of it. Actually, don't take my advice. Don't go back. Don't go back. Don't go back. Come here. Come to us. Come to Bakanga land. I'm not the only Bakangalizer. There are many Bakangalizer in the comment section. They have channels. They have pages. Yeah, don't go back. Don't go back. I was joking on that one. Hey, shh. Don't go back. Aye. Come on, Bakanga. You also. You need to come down with that advice. You're giving people unrealistic advice on that one. I apologize, my brothers and sisters. Don't go back. Please. In fact, if you're a Christian, if you used to be an ex-Christian, the Bible says you can never become a Christian again. Your Bible says Jesus is not going to die for you twice. If you used to be a Christian, you can never go back. The Bible says in the book of Hebrews, Jesus did not die twice. Psych. You have lost your license. You are now destined for hellfire. So come to Bakanga. I will lead you to the most beautiful part of hellfire, where there is a garden of tomatoes, groundnuts, peanuts. There is fresh water. I discovered a part of hellfire where there is fresh water. So Jesus came to save you from hell. I came to make you comfortable in hell. Because you cannot deconstruct from religion if you cannot be comfortable in hell. It is impossible for you to deconstruct from your religion of Christianity and Islam and Judaism if you cannot be comfortable with going to hell. You understand? If you cannot overcome the fear of going to hell. So don't worry. When I go to hell, I will defeat Satan by myself. I will beat him up. I will beat him up. African style with the back of my hand. I will beat Satan up. I will colonize all the demons. Then I will set a human colony There's a lot of white people that will help me do that too. You know? Our white brothers and sisters are masters colonizers. And there's going to be a lot of them in hellfire with me. We are going to colonize hell for humanity. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can cry about it. I'm not here to please you. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can cry about it. You will never find freedom if you don't accept the worst pain. You have to be able to overcome the fear of pain, the fear of death, the fear of punishment. Not only criminals get to overcome the fear of punishment. A wise man can also overcome the fear of punishment. You need to have dignity, integrity. With those things, you're good. If you find a thief with integrity, that's not a real thief. If you find a liar that speaks the truth, that's not a real liar. If you find an honest person who lies, that's not an honest person. I only wish my words, one of my words, would land in your mind on fertile soil and germinate. And germinate, my brothers and sisters. I said I was going 5 minutes ago. I'm still here. Let me go before Jesus comes back. If I keep talking on TikTok, Jesus might just come back. I don't want Jesus to come back. I'm not yet ready for the horse that can run on clouds. By the way, Christians, let me tell you something. I have a plan. I know how I'm going to make it to heaven. I'm going to wait 1 minute before I die. Then I ask Jesus to forgive me again. Thank you, Brother Congo. Hey, Christians, you can spend your whole life being a Christian. Me, I'm going to wait 1 minute before I die. Then I will confess my sins and I will still make it to heaven. Psych. And if you accuse me in heaven, you will become the second Lucifer. Don't be jealous just because you can't do it. Yes, that's our backup plan. 1 minute before we go. 1 minute. Not even 2 minutes. Nope, I'm not wasting an extra minute on this. I'll only give you 1 minute. 1 minute before I go, I say, Father Lord in heaven. Hey, God, do you remember me? My God, do you remember? I am the one who was saying you don't exist, but God, you know, it's almost time to come and meet you. I have about 30 seconds left. Forgive me, oh. If God doesn't forgive me, he's wicked. If your God doesn't forgive my confession 1 minute before I die, he's a wicked God. Very wicked individual. Very wicked. I don't mind going to hell anyways. If I confess 1 minute, in fact, I will confess on Judgment Day. I'll confess on Judgment Day. When God asked me, Bakanga, did you wait until marriage to be a did you wait until marriage before you had sex? I said, no, Father. I had to practice. The Bible says practice makes perfect. Hey. I said, God, you're the one who told us to put our faith to practice now. If I remain a virgin, how will I be good at it? I practiced so that by the time I got married, I was a professional. A professional knacker. Just like your father and your mother. And your brothers and sisters in Christ. Oh, don't forget your pastor. Your pastor is a professional knacker also. Do you know your pastor's nickname in the street? Alligator. They call your pastor Alligator. He's just over here eating people's chickens. Eating people's chickens, eh? Just eating them. And then coming to church on Sunday to preach to you. Hey! You know, I was listening to a story last week. A pastor. He had just finished banging the secretary in the office. Right before he went on stage to preach against sexual immorality and sleeping with other people's wives. The secretary felt so bad in her heart. She went up to go and testify. And he came out. If you're a pastor, you need to be smart too. Don't be giving opportunity to people you are sleeping with in your church to go and testify. They might sell you out. I'm just giving you good advice. Testimony. You guys know how they do testimony in Christian church. Testimony. The moment he saw her walking forward, he should have just told her to go and sit down. Say, woman, the spirit is not with you. He let her go and testify. And she sold him out because she was being convicted by the spirit. Tai Chi master, you say you don't listen to man, you only listen to God. When did God speak to you? My brothers and sisters, Lakanga is out.